All right, we're live.
All
right, you guys. Welcome back to the Anime Collector. Bear with us. This is the first rendition of this podcast, and we've already run into several problems. So I'd like to introduce you guys to my co-host, Augie.
Hey.
Come on.
How you doing today, people? My name is Augie. I write on the Over and Tumblers broadcast under the pen name Don Jojo. I'm here to fight for me and you, so let's go.
Had to get you starting to talk a little bit more because it didn't switch over the camera until much later.
Okay.
Okay, we're good though. All right, so we got a viewer. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and type something in the chat real quick just so I can make sure this is all working. Or is that you as the viewer?
I am the viewer.
You are the viewer. Okay.
Ooh.
Never mind then. All right. So I guess we'll just wait a little bit.
Well, it's not showing
we can kind of, you and I can just kind of figure out what we want to chat about today. Let me get our notes up real quick.
Well, we could do our version of the invention exchange, meaning what we ordered the past couple of weeks, and show it off to the viewers.
Yeah. All right, we got a viewer. The anus cancer says that the stream is working.
So I'm in the wrong stream.
Are you on the wrong one? You're on the one with the other chat. Yeah. So now that yeah, I'm gonna have to leave that up just because. Yeah. Okay. So here's what happened. I scheduled the stream so that it would push out a notification to you guys, to the subscribers, and for whatever reason you can't do a Google. You probably can, but I just don't see the option to do a Google Hangout stream, and that's what we're doing right now. I guess the scheduled streaming is more for, you know, broadcasting with OBS and different sort of broadcasting things. So,
okay, I got to. Okay, throw me the link to us talking because I got some pals that want to watch this and they're probably wondering what's going on.
Let's see. Let me grab that link real quick. Hang on, I gotta mute my. There we go. Okay, got the link. I'm going to send it to you over Facebook. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I didn't save this one. The other stream still says the same exact thing as this one. Did I not save this? Where's the save changes? I did. Okay, let me just go to my events real quick. Make sure that it says... Oh. The one I scheduled isn't there anymore. This is frustrating. We're definitely not doing that again. I'll just okay, so for future reference, if you guys want to stay up to date on when we're going to do these podcasts, follow us on Twitter. That'll be the easiest way to know. Because these are not going to be weekly. They might be every other week. Yeah, bi-weekly would be twice a week. Let's see. So they might be every other week. Then we've got conventions coming up. Oh, man, it says I've got an incoming call. Close. Okay. All right. So why don't we start off? You go ahead and we'll start off the stream by just going over the purchases from the last week.
Hold up. All right, my fine Old Navy cashmere wearing friend. For today's invention exchange, I've got something from Blast from the Past as Momotaro and the Sacred Sailors, released by Funimation and remastered. But what's this? The older edition that they like to play on AWA in one of their rooms.
I have that.
Released by Oh, Zaka. By that. Also, another one recommended by Amazon because it was cheap. The Astonishing Works of Osamu Tezuka. I apologize if I mispronounced that.
I definitely have that one. That one has the mermaid on it. That's why I bought it.
But what's this? In the future, people still go to school with a zombie attack in School Life, Standard Edition. No idea if that's feasible. Heck enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have colorful before, but what's more colorful than a pair of colorfuls? As this is the first print with the opening, they open to 2 extra pairs. However, it's the same disc, so I'm a little disappointed. And because I already have both halls of Lupin, I was kind of flustered and didn't know if one was uncut or not, so I got the other version of Twilight of Gemini, and it's empty, but I guarantee you it's full of dropped discs. Ooh. What else we got in this treasure trove of new hauls? Well, how about the Chivalry of a Fallen Knight Standard Edition? Which I'm finally glad that got released over here. You know what kind of fantasies some people go after? Why, Pegasus Fantasies with Saint Seiya, released by Flat Iron Film Company.
Yep.
Which has a weird subtitling.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them about that real quick.
The subtitling for this show lags. What do I mean by that? It's as if someone's going to start a sentence in mid-sentence, which now the subtitles would pop up, explain the rest of what I'm going to say, and disappear right near the end. Yeah,
it's very similar to the old Hong Kong, Malaysia bootlegs where you're just lucky if those subtitles, if it makes the show watchable at all, in terms of if you're going to be watching it in Japanese, that is.
I heard rumor that Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex has problems like that in the legit release, so I'm afraid to try that, but I could be dead wrong. I hope I am.
For which release? For the individual DVDs or the...
I think so. Then again, it could be confused with from what you're saying, the Hong Kong release. But because of that rumor, I haven't tried it yet. I need to debunk that. So I decided to be part of the modern world by getting the first thing of Hunter x Hunter. It's not the steel case.
This is all from... How recent did you buy all these?
A month ago.
A month ago? Okay.
Well, no.
I was going to do for the past week.
From now.
I guess because it's the first podcast. Oh, wow. FDDNM says Ghost in the Shell apparently has the Japanese audio cut in randomly when watching the dub.
Yeah, that would add a bit more culture to
it. Which version do you know? FDDNM? Because I didn't notice that when I was watching it. All right, let him answer. You go ahead and continue. Let's get through yours.
All right, let me get back to the right screen because I only have the. I think of nope. Well, just hoping that everyone can see me. Incredibly inedible and delectably. Now, whatever. Here's Fighting Food on because I can't act right. English dub only, and it has all the Fox Kids inserts of when they go to commercial break.
Oh, nice.
But you'd think they would leave that out.
He says it's from the Blu-ray version. By the way, the Ghost in the Shell.
Okay. And also continuing this Saint Seiya trend is Saint Seiya, The Lost Canvas.
Who released that?
That was released by Discotheque/Eastern Star.
The only thing I have from them is the movie pack, the two movies. Let me rephrase that. The only thing I have from Discotheque about Saint Seiya is those. Not the only thing I have from them at all. Yeah, those.
They released that later on. I think what they released because of poor sales, they might not continue Saint Seiya, but I'm not sure. It's been a while. All right, I'm almost down to 3 more titles.
Okay.
So another one is Endo O Rocket.
Tilt that up. It was you get caught the light.
Hold up. Let me do exactly right now. Okay. Ooh. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it is. Blind buy. Someone sold it cheap.
Okay.
I was excited for season 1, but now I can't wait for season 2 later this year for One Punch Man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I accidentally bought 2 of those.
Uh-oh.
I pre-ordered it twice is what happened.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
And then again, hey, have a Christmas present.
So I'm not gonna go into
I'm not done yet.
I'm not gonna go into too much detail. Like I'm not gonna reach out and grab everything, but I'll give you guys a quick list of some of the stuff I picked up in the last couple weeks or whatever. Just starting my cataloging app real quick. I just went through and before the podcast last night, I reconfigured everything to add all the new stuff I'd gotten, which takes hours if you've got a collection this large.
Sweet FDDM. Sorry, FDDNM.
My cataloging app just crashed upon opening. So let's see. I can tell you off the top of my head. I got the hey, Samurai Jeff's here. I got the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Let me grab that one actually. Hold on one second.
Might be faster if I grab it. As he's not around, I went ahead and ordered a collection of piano. However, it's the wrong one. Wrong one with right discs. As this one is the library edition of piano.
Say that again. I had the headphones unplugged.
Don't worry. I was being a cheeky bastard.
Okay.
So I ordered piano, the complete collection.
Uh-huh.
Turns out I got the library edition. So they cut it out with like this, I don't know, pseudo anime top, stickers, 3-week loan. It has the legit discs, but they just printed off like this, I don't know, something like Windows 95 print of what the cover would look like. So
I have something like that for Ghost in the Shell Arise, where it's like it's like that. So since I knew where it was and I didn't have to search for it, here's the, I'm going to switch it to me. Here's the Wizard of Oz set that I got. This aired on HBO. It's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, Ozma of Oz, and the Emerald City of Oz. So I got this, and hopefully by now my streaming service. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy just popped in. Let's see. Okay, cataloging app is up now. I can tell you the rest of the things I picked up. The computer I have the chat on keeps going to sleep. Okay, so I bought Black Butler because it just went out of print, so I wanted to make sure I got that. And I actually got season 1 on eBay a signed copy by like 4 of the main voice actors. At your I don't want to say your request, but because you told me about it, I picked up Blue Submarine #6, the movie version. I'm noticing my tags are wrong on this, so I switched it to DVD. Okay. I picked up the Mystic Archives of Dantalion, and I just picked up Gosick. What else? Oh God, I got the rest of those horrible Marvel animes. Oh yeah, no problem, dude. No problem, Mr. Nice Guy. He's saying thanks for the help with his Ava video. God, I picked up the rest of those terrible Marvel animes. Let me give you guys nope, other window. Let me see if I can share screen. Come on. Share screen. Application window. Hold on, I gotta. That's annoying. I have to pull it. I'm on a Mac, so I've got the thing where you can have more than one window display or whatever.
As you're dealing with this, how much did you have to pay for your version? Even though yours sounds very nice because you got the voice actresses and other people to autograph it.
Oh, for that it's the DVD. It's the DVD release of season 1 that has all the signed copies. Let me turn off the thing so it can switch to you. Were you holding something a second ago?
Oh, you didn't have to look at me?
You know, I had it clicked on me for a minute.
All right.
Because it keeps, for whatever reason, it's like if I just move the mouse slightly, it switches to me when you're talking. So this is bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm just gonna have to close that. That should take care of it. Okay, that's better. All right, so
can I talk now?
Yeah, go ahead. You can talk. Yeah, I've got. I'm just gonna move these. These were in here just because I was using it to help me put things back when I was going through the collection and reconsolidating everything. So these are the horrible. They're awful. If you guys haven't seen them, I can't believe it. So far I've only watched the Avengers, Black Widow, and Punisher movie, and that thing is so bad. The premise behind it, or the motivation behind the villain, is the most pathetic beta male thing you've ever seen in your life. Then I tried to watch, after I finished that, the Blade series, and it's unbelievable how much easier it is to take the live action movies seriously than that anime. But anyway, I picked up the rest of them. So there's 6 total. There's Iron Man, there's Wolverine, then there's the X-Men anime, which is, so these are the first 2 here. Iron Man and Wolverine are like a 12 episode show, 13 episode maybe. Then there's X-Men and Blade, which are all part of a series. Then there's the movie Iron Man Rise of Technovore. And then there's the other movie, The Avengers, Confidential, Black Widow, and Punisher. So I also picked up, because I found it real cheap. Oh, this says collection 1. I put the wrong image here. This is actually collection 2 that I have. I picked up Seraph of the End. I have them in here as the individual sets, but I actually have the limited edition, not the collector's edition, because that thing is like retardedly expensive. And then I just picked up Steins Gate. Mr. Nice Guy says that Marvel has always been behind DC in terms of animation, though with them trying to cover the new 52 stuff right now, it's been leveling out. You know, as far as I'm concerned, let me switch this off of screen sharing. Stop. There we go. As far as I'm concerned, come on. Are you serious?
I still can't see you on our end.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it was thinking, I guess. As far as I'm concerned, DC needs to just dump everything that's not Batman, because everything else that they try to do turns out to be just a joke, in my opinion. But I'm not a comic guy. I never have been. My favorite comic book heroes are the ones that don't have superpowers, all of them. So I don't know. Well, I guess unless you consider Blade having quote unquote superpowers, but I've never read the Blade comics. I just liked the movies, especially the second one with Guillermo del Toro directing. It was a really well put together film.
All right, now let me catch up now. I remember the Marvel anime made Iron Man Wolverine, and X-Men. I'm not sure about Blade. When G4 was on, that was one of the last bits of stuff that they showed before they just kind of stopped altogether. What's strange is before the podcast, I went to the G4 site and it's still on.
Oh, really?
Not updatable, and you can't really view any articles, but it's still there. DC Marvel. I'm not a comic book reader either. DC's animation is going to be good because you have the whole Batman the Animated, and they just continued that. And how I see it, they continued that, so the quality is going to be getting better. However, I can't say that much about the live action movies for DC.
Yeah,
Marvel.
Go ahead.
Marvel animation, sometimes it's usually a coin flip, unless it's like Spider-Man. Unless it's that 3D Spider-Man, but that's another story. So good luck with DC in the movies. I'm afraid to watch Wonder Woman right now because I don't think it's going to be good. But those out there that watch it and it's enjoyable, good for you.
You know, as far as I'm concerned, I just, like I said, I haven't enjoyed the like, I don't know if it's the heroes themselves or the stories that they put them in, but Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman is one of my least favorite superheroes. I don't know. In my opinion, I think especially.
I'll speak up for Aquaman for a second. They don't generally depict him correctly.
Well, I'm sure
with
that
him, there's another ability that he has. He's telekinetic with other animals. Because you usually see him with fish, that's fine. He's sane. When he talks to other animals, he starts to become more insane and maddening.
Well, one of the things that I've, like, personally, what they're doing with, it's so strange that we got on the topic of Marvel and DC. They just sort of dominate the discussion right now, but they're doing like Justice League and Avengers. I personally did not care for the Avengers at all. I didn't like it. I think that it's really hard to write stories where you make superheroes team up because somebody is always dominating the presence, and especially with Hollywood, somebody's always going to get top billing and they're going to get more screen time and all that stuff. So it's difficult. I think given the task they had, they did a pretty good job, but I was bored out of my skull watching Avengers. I didn't even see the second one. I don't know.
Wow.
Anyway, let's
get back to anime. Let's get out.
Let's get out of this. This isn't a place I enjoy being. So first of all, I just want to mention right now we're calling the podcast the Open Chest Anime Podcast, and I decided not to call it something like Anime Collectors Podcast because I wanted to differentiate it from the channel name a little bit, and I felt like it would be easier to graphically depict something like Open Chest Anime, which actually everything about this podcast is supposed to be as simple as humanly possible. Like we're just trying to handle it minimal stress. This is the part of the channel where you could say you take your pants off and just kind of relax a little bit. But I asked Augie what we should title the podcast, and he gave me, let me pull it up actually, gave me a list of things that he thought, it just off the top of his head. And the first one that we all just kind of latched onto was Open Chest Anime. I gotta get that other one, the hilarious one you came up with. Let's pull it up real quick. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because it's not a permanent title. So if you guys have any ideas for a better title, we're definitely open to it. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's so much chat to go through on our Facebook because of the last couple days of not being able to get the stream to work at all.
Oh, come on. I don't talk that much.
Oh no, it's just going back and forth. Like, hold on, I can't hear you. Hang on, wait. No, I'm gonna call you back. You know. Oh man, what was it? You had this one. Oh, wait, I think I'm right here. I went too far. This is the part where you're asking me if I had an extra copy of Excel Saga. And then podcast. Here's the names. Treasure Trove Anime Cove. Yeah. Otaku Flea Market, which doesn't, unless we're selling something. Yeah.
Anime gave me that. I didn't like it.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is that we're open to. God damn it, computer! Stop going to sleep when I'm trying to read chat. The point is that we've got Open Chest Anime seemed like the best one.
Yeah.
But we're open to.
Likes it.
Yeah. He's actually probably going to be a guest on this podcast sometime in the future. So anyway, I went through the stuff that I got. I got some other stuff too, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I didn't go back as far as you did. I just went back to.
Well, I only had one more thing to go through.
Okay, go ahead.
Then list that. Yeah, the collectible Garfield, Umaru-chan, which thank God it's getting a second season this fall. I think. I don't know. People call it fall or summer. Right? I always get that mixed up.
Yeah. That box set is way too big for me. I was so on board with Sentai when they released Chunibyo and Beyond the Boundary, and they just had all these amazing box sets that were like almost a throwback to the old way of doing things with the art box and everything. And now they've gone to the dark side, and they're putting out stuff like Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And they've got these huge box sets that don't fit in your collection. I hate that.
Yeah, but at least they're good shows, or I enjoy them really well.
Yeah, but see, you've got this setup where you can stick stuff on top, and it doesn't have to be in alphabetical order.
Well, I also try to get the complete collection, not try to get a box set and fill it up. Granted, that's fun to do.
Well, here's a perfect example. Funimation released Seraph of the End, and they have the regular edition, they've got the limited edition, and then they've got the collector's edition. If you're going to do something crazy with the design or something, make a limited edition and a collector's edition. One that is going to fit into a person's bookcase, and one that is for displaying on a coffee table, because the thing that I hate the most about what Sentai is doing is that, at least with things like Chunibyo, the collector's edition, which is a lot more expensive than the regular edition, is the only version that comes with the dub.
Mind if I share one more thing about the Umaru-chan set? I think the FDDNM might enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it looks, but I hate how you use it. So I'm stuck with these jewel cases for the DVD, Blu-rays, and soundtrack, which includes a whole bunch of 1-minute segments, which that's fine by me. But for me to enjoy the series without risking breaking collectible Garfield up there, probably going to have to buy a standard edition anyway. So shuffle it up.
Yeah, I totally agree. It looks nice. I actually think it, like behind you there, it looks pretty good. Mr. Nice Guy wants to know what our thoughts are on the Chunibyo movie announcement.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that movie, that series.
Well, I'm gonna have to, give a shout out to him about the title. Yeah, the title being "Take on Me" definitely evokes the song by Aha, for sure. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind if they put the song in the movie. Was on that subject, something that was really jarring was hearing Red Hot Chili Peppers' Danny California at the end of the live-action Death Note movie. That was bizarre. The first one, I think.
Okay. Well, it's done by WB, and they love to brag about their record studio. So
Say that again.
it was released by WB, and well, they like to boast about their record studio. So
Yeah.
I can kind of see how they can link that over there. Now, why they chose that, I have no idea.
So FDDNM says that Full Metal Alchemist had a limited edition and collectors separate as well, and in that case, well, he says that the collector's edition was a normal size chipboard box with it. Oh, okay? So you're talking about the one that's like a chest, right? Or like that it's is it a suitcase? It's brown, right? It's larger than would fit reasonably in a bookcase. Are you saying that there's a chipboard collector's box inside of that? Is that what you're referring to? Because I'm thinking of the brown one that's rather large.
I'm sitting here thinking of those 3 multicolored tins.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he's talking about, because I think they just put out like this. Was it this year? It might have been last year. I think it was last year actually. They put out the. I'll pull it up real quick. Let's see.
I might have one of those releases for Full Metal Alchemist, but I really don't want to look at that right now.
Mine is right here, but I only have. I bought this version. Make sure that you guys can see this.
Oh, yeah. The 4-part.
I bought the 4-part when it first came out, and then because I got the 4-part when Brotherhood came out. I just bought this version because I thought it would look nicer next to. I thought it would look nicer next to the.
He did agree it is the suitcase one.
Yeah, the suitcase. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, so that has a chipboard box that fits like a normal. Yeah, this is the Blu-ray Collector's Edition. Wow, that was in 2015?
Yep.
Dang. Time has really flown. I guess that's cool. I've got one thing that I really regret having bought, which is the... I'll grab it. I know exactly where it is.
Oh, come on. It's just plastic and styrofoam. You can't grudge about that.
This?
Right.
This enormous box that goes in my collection that takes up the space of like 30 DVDs, but the actual thing inside, which I haven't opened, is actually only about that big. This is almost exactly the same situation as we're talking about with Full Metal Alchemist. Won't fit there. Yeah, it only fits on some shelves too, but because because the show starts with an S, it's like always at the bottom of the collection. I don't know what it is about collections in anime, but there's a crap ton of shows that start with S.
There's an older series that got re-released. This is like very old news now. What I really liked is how they released all of Cobra over here.
Yeah, oh, I'm so glad they finally started getting on that. I can't believe it took them this long.
Yeah, but at least we got them.
Yeah, the set movie is really nice too. Mine is.
So
it looks right there. Oh, it's right.
So it kind of looks like this.
Yeah, I was gonna grab it. That's the Nozomi Artbox, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a gift with purchase item.
What I also like is how Sentai Filmworks, this released 2000 blah blah blah, the more recent series of it, but also the OVAs as well. So we got all of it over here now. So
yeah,
I might complain about the price, but hey, about time.
I wish it was dubbed, just because that show that's like Lupin in space, and that could have been a really good
Lupin the 8.
well, it could have been a really good classic dub, the way that the original show for series 2 of Lupin was dubbed. I could see Space Adventure Cobra getting a great dub like that, but at least it's here. You know, at least we get to enjoy it. It's good in Japanese.
I wish the manga would get over here, because now we got Captain Carlock and Devilman. I forgot who the company is, but at least it's getting over here.
Devilman, you talking about? Are you talking about? Are you talking about this set?
No. I'm talking about the manga. However,
the manga. Yeah. I think.
Hey, bring that up. Bring that up. I got some stuff to talk about that. What's weird to me about that Devilman is in the 90s, you see all the blood, tits, gore. Say something, AC.
I'm here. What's on?
Okay, I just wanted the box flash for a sec. So
is it not showing you? For the stream, I have it.
You're holding the box. I'm talking about it. I want to make sure people get a visual. Yeah,
but you're talking. I have it selected on my camera. So even though you're talking, I have it so they can see it. So don't worry about it.
So what's weird about that is it's when they animated it, it's censored. Like the harpy demon everyone would think about is the big-titted owl thing with wings on her head. When you first see her in that show, she looks like the Hawk girl from He-Man. So bizarre. You still get all the gouging and stuff, but not the rest of anything else. I thought it would start up with the Black Sabbath, but no, it didn't do that at all.
I don't know. I haven't opened mine yet. It still has the shrink wrap underneath, which is actually kind of bizarre. Yeah. So he says FDDNM says that it was in fact 7Cs that got it for the manga.
Okay.
What's kind of bizarre is how some companies, because I've been doing my series on bootlegs and I've experienced this a lot, but some companies, they put the shrink wrap on before the sleeve, the slipcover, right?
Right.
And bizarrely, most bootleggers put the shrink wrap over the slipcover instead of underneath it. But bizarrely, I have come across, legitimate companies that do that as well. And I had one particular case with right here. Let me grab it.
Dum. What will he show up with next?
I just realized the camera's been still on me this whole time. With Magical Angel Premium Ami, which I bought all these on Right Stuff, right as Anime Souls. They just kind of dissolved. They dissolved themselves.
Yeah.
They had, for those of you who don't know, Anime Souls did this thing where they basically said, whatever we don't sell by this date, we're going to destroy. So I made sure to buy everything I needed, which is, I mean, I understand you have to take care of the warehouse fee, like to hold all the stuff, and they were dissolving the company. So it's like, either we're all going to take everything home and like hold on to it for no reason, or we're going to destroy it all. And it kind of like, it doesn't technically artificially inflate the price, but it kind of does. It does. It's an unnecessary inflation of the price. But anyway, so
depends on the reseller.
Yeah, parts 2, 3, and 4 are all shrink wrap with the slip cover outside of the shrink wrap. But part 1, for whatever reason, is a different type of shrink wrap, and it covers the slip cover as well. So
did you get all the Dear Brother series?
Yeah, I actually got I've got an extra one right over here.
Really?
Yeah, hold on one second.
What also didn't help Anime Souls is if you try to go in and just like a Kickstarter, pledge your bid or the amount of money. And you're reading through all this. It's like trying to get a mortgage with a second mortgage on top. Made it very confusing. They should have done something to grab the license, then do print on demand. But I'm not a businessman, and we kind of learn from history from back then.
These weren't printed on demand. Sorry, I had my my headphones out. What were you saying?
Give my 2 cents about how when you try to pledge for something on Anime Souls, it's like getting a mortgage and also another mortgage on top with how it read. And they should have secured the license while just doing a print-on-demand service. They
should have, yeah. Well, what they kind of did was,
yeah, we all get to that point, old man.
Yeah, we'll get. Well, I see that chat. I'll get to it in just a second. But what they, I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I've got the complete collection. Or they didn't release. Which one was the one that they actually finished releasing? Because they only actually finished releasing one of them, right?
Premium Mommy and Dear Brother got the full release, I do believe. I don't think Dear Brother has a 4 disc, but Blackjack's the one that only went halfway.
Blackjack only got halfway. Dear Brother goes to episode 39. I think that Creamy Mommy is the only one that actually got finished. But basically, I bought part 3, and there's like a. It's really hard to tell, but right there's like a dent in it, and it just ever so slightly tore the cover. And I complained about it to Right Stuff, and they just sent me. They didn't even ask for it back. They just sent me another copy, probably because they were trying to get rid of them. You know, it was towards the end when they were going to destroy them anyway. So Old Man says, I have over 2,100 anime DVDs and completed art box sets, but I stopped collecting a few years ago. I see very little anime at retail anymore. Yeah, that's how things. That's the direction things have gone in. I did a video on shopping online a while back, back in 2014, where I talked about how, for me personally, collecting really was about going out and getting things. It wasn't about finding it online quickly and easily. It was about making a day of it, going to every store in your area, you know, driving 2 hours to San Diego to see what's there. You know, that was, for me, when I first started collecting, that was a big part of collecting. And back when Best Buy used to have a huge selection, and then they decided to scale down and only have like super mainstream stuff. It was a hard time to be a collector when that happened back in like 2008 when ADV and Geneon went under. It sucks. I agree.
My shared experience is trying to gather all this anime booty, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I don't, like right with Best Buy is, everyone keeps telling me that, but I have not seen anything from that, but it could just be a time issue. Yeah, going through the different stores, seeing what different deals are, comparing prices. I still do that, but everything's just went out of business. FYE is not what it used to be. It's more like a Willy Wonka store now.
Yeah, back in the day, speaking of FYE, GameStop used to sell used DVDs, and the kind of stuff you could get there, like that was one of the major stores I used to hit, was GameStop. I would just go to every GameStop in the area and see what they had. You know, if I had a day where I didn't have anything else to do and I had some money to spend, that would be my day. Just go around, go to every Best Buy in the area, go to every GameStop, every little hole in the wall anime store. And I really miss that. I do, because that was a great, you know, like I said, because you can go online and spend a little bit more and get something that's a little bit rare. it's nice to complete the collection, but for me, it's the thrill of the chase. You know, I would say I collect anime because I like anime, but I'm a collector first and a fan second. You know, it's about collecting for me. What do you think?
I see it more as fishing than hunting the cheetah in the savannah. To me, it got really good when Movie Stop came about, and then all of a sudden, Go Hastings. Go Hastings showed up, and all of a sudden, someone bought them and got rid of them. So now I'm left with nothing aside a mom and pop store, this other knockoff side place, pawn shops that are just going off of this universal. We're going to try to sell it higher than eBay scheme, FYE, and ironically Walmart, of all places.
The way that I see it, the way things are going, come on, stop going to sleep, computer. The way things are going, it seems like there's a resurgence in terms of collector's editions, physical media, which is surprising to see. You know, I'm very fortunate, you know, I'd say that things are going that direction. But we're not seeing a resurgence in terms of brick and mortar stores actually selling this stuff, you know. And I think that what's going on is that the online shopping model has just changed the game, you know. And it's great that places like Right Stuff exist, you know.
It changes the game. However, I've seen a lot of times when comparing prices and, you know, going out there and looking for stuff, I can find a better deal sometimes at the brick and mortar store. Another gripe I have is I have so many Krogers here, but not a Fry's Electronics. But back to what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I lost my train of thought again. Okay, so yeah, it just the game has changed. Is the bottom line, you know, and it's interesting. Again, we're really fortunate that things haven't gone to an online only format, and some shows have, and that sucks, you know, because it's always nice to own things, but at the end of the day, there will come a time where, I mean, because as a collector, especially a collector like myself,
I'm a different self.
Yeah, well, you're in the same boat, though. It's as if the walls are sort of closing in, you know, in terms of you have to keep upgrading your storage space, because I'm doubling up on this top shelf all the way around the 8.
Well, for your case, you need to get a house and like your own shop or something, studio.
What I need is to make an absurd amount of money and have a Beauty and the Beast style library where I can just fill up with DVDs. That's what I need. That's my dream.
Hey, we are the dreamers. We are the makers.
So let's catch up with the chat here.
Okay, I hate Aniplex. Stop overpricing stuff and get your president retired already. We get that he worked for Pioneer and moved to Geneon, then you hired him to work for Aniplex. Just get him retired and get him out here.
Well, here's my take on Aniplex. It's not that fans are, quote, willing to pay. It's that they're holding shit hostage. It's an ultimatum on whether or not you're going to get a physical release from something. You have to pay. It's not that you're willing to pay. It's that it's practically gun to your head. You're not getting this unless you pay ransom, you know? Same with Pony Canyon.
You know what? Let them. Don't buy it. They go away.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Years later, they fight license hell. It's only re-release it again if there's enough demand/interest.
It's funny that you say that, because I have a story about, I think it was Toradora. back in the day, they originally, NIS America originally released Toradora in these large, sort of like the, if I remember correctly, they were kind of like the Pony Canyon sets. No, I think they were just like the NIS Premium.
This is like vinyl.
They were in a case that will not fit in a bookcase, right? That's not a bookcase designed to hold standard size DVDs, at least. And I went to Anime Expo, and I went to the NIS America booth. I think this was in 2009, maybe 2010. And I talked to the girl who was working the booth, and I said, is NIS ever going to release this in a reasonable size, you know, as I'm holding this huge thing? And she's like, no, unfortunately, that's the only way they're going to release it. And I just remember, like, she was like,
HR.
Yeah, she was just trying to get me to buy it, and like you should get it because it comes with this and that and that. And I'm like, okay, you don't understand. Like, it got annoying, so I kind of got a little snarky with her, and I said, I'm gonna wait until the company goes out of business and a reasonable company gets the license and puts it out on a more reasonable format. And then the very next year at Anime Expo, they had started doing the standard sized, you know, DVD set. So I like to take credit for that, even though I obviously probably had absolutely nothing to do with it. But let's see. Yeah, they did re-release Toradora with the dub, which I need to get. I actually bought.
I like that casing for it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, talk.
I gotta go back through the chat in a minute, but real quick, I actually bought Toradora. So my wife and I met at Anime Expo when it was in Anaheim back in 2006, and
how's their chili?
Say what?
How's their chili?
One more time.
How is Anaheim chili? Come on.
How is the chili? I don't know. I've never had the Anaheim chili.
Okay.
But we met back when it was at the Anaheim Convention Center, and we've gone every year since then. We started dating on July 4th, the last day of Anime Expo that we met. So we go every year, and we actually went. We got married on July 4th because it's our anniversary from when we started dating, right? So we got married on July 4th, and we still went to Anime Expo the year that we got married. And we actually bought Toradora at Anime Expo that year and brought it with us and watched it on our honeymoon. So good memories of that show. So let me go through the chat. So Old Man says, Right Stuff's bargain bin was always awesome, especially the deals they ran every Xmas. Very true. Augie and I were talking about this the other day, about how there's certain shows that are sold for so cheaply on Right Stuff's bargain stuff that when they have a sale, you can guarantee a certain large group of people who do unboxing videos are going to have that in their next video. Shows like Fibrain.
I'm still interested in that show. I have seen like the first episode.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of shows that Right Stuff sold super, super cheap. And then you see these unboxings like, oh, I bought this at the Right Stuff sale. And it's like everybody owns that show because it was $1, you know? So let's see.
But how come everyone doesn't own Doggy Poo?
Doesn't own Doggy Poo? I think I have Doggy Poo.
I know I have Doggy Poo.
I don't know. Let me check.
This is probably the only time you're going to see someone smile and say you own Doggy Poo. I have Doggy Poo.
I also have Hammer Boy. Probably Hamtaro. It's probably like right here. Hammer Boy. Yep. I've got.
Hey, you know, I got all of John's stuff.
This is This is the Korean anime Hammer Boy.
Yep.
So FDDNM says it's targeted to the older fans, referring to NIS America.
I'm liking his regular editions content.
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
He says it's targeted to older fans who have the money for it. Would be a better way. Would be a better way to word it. Yeah, for sure. He says NIS America regular dimension premium sets are the most solid sets made of impenetrable material. Yeah, I haven't picked any of those up yet. I've kind of got blinders on right now. I know that we've talked behind the scenes, FDD&M, about staying on top of all the premium sets coming out, all the limited editions, and it's impossible. I have blinders on with shows like, or companies like Funimation, because they just can't keep up. I can't keep up right now. So I'm focused on Sentai right now. And unfortunately this year it's just been brutal. Shows like there's just a lot of stuff coming out right now that's really expensive, and I've got a kid on the way. My car's literally in the shop today, because
so that's what you call it.
Yeah, it's the mechanic, because my check engine light caused me to fail my smog check. So when
explain what smog check is, because
it's a pollution
that baffled
thing.
me.
Yeah, he doesn't have that in Alabama.
Yeah.
But I failed the smog check because the check engine light was on, which means you automatically fail. And the price I was quoted when I was in California. So in Arizona, you can register your car for up to 2 years. So that's what I did. And when I first learned about the problem with the car, I didn't have the cash to take care of it. It was going to cost me $900 for the mechanic I saw in California. There's an additional problem with the knock sensors right now, which basically determine whether or not the engine is like knocking around in the car. And the price went from, oh yeah, if I had handled this in California, it'd be $900 to now $2,100 that I've got to pay. So that's fun. But yeah, the My Love Story box set, come to think of it, is one of the ones that I'm thinking, was that Sentai or was that Funimation?
That's
I think
Sentai.
That's Sentai, right? Yeah, I bought the. Go ahead.
I love their manga covers. They get more hilarious as they keep releasing it.
I bought that set, and then right at the point where Right Stuff had shipped it and they couldn't like cancel the order, I think it was announced that they were doing a limited edition for that. So I had to. I wish I had been able to cancel my order to save a little bit of cash and get just the premium one, or whatever. But yeah, I just can't keep up. That's the bottom line. Anyway, so what are you guys collecting right now? Anything on your radar? We were originally going to talk about rare anime. Should we do that? I'm a little bit nervous about doing that because I don't have money to go out and buy stuff right now. And every time I talk to Augie, I end up going to Amazon or eBay.
Well, there's one quote unquote rare, I guess you'd say, is when they released this series, Orihime. I was at AWA at the Aniplex panel, and they were talking about the show. People were cheering. They say, pre-order it now. And for some reason had like this disturbing grin that was kind of uncomfortable to see. Everyone's comments in that room was, oh, we'll wait for it to be released, then go buy it. Everyone's chattering that, and the people presenting were nervously laughing as if this was a bad idea.
Yeah, as if they knew something.
As if they knew something but couldn't say. So you know what? This is going to be a popular show. People want to talk about it. I can't stream at the moment, or what other XYZ you can think of to watch the show. I'll pre-order the show for $79 off of Right Stuff. All right, it came. I joined a anime club as well. So brought this into the anime club, like, hey, look what I got. Started talking about it. After that first weekend, I saw like people pricing it for like over $1,000. Mm-hmm. Got ridiculous
price.
Which I don't blame people for buying the bootleg if they're going to pull something shady like that. However,
Yeah.
luckily, after 6 months of hell, that July, they re-released a standard copy.
Mhm. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Like right now, I
There you
can't
go,
believe.
Shane. That's how you do it.
Yeah, I can't believe the pricing. Like, it's as if, I don't know when it happened. Let's say 2012, 2013. All of a sudden, reselling prices went Super Saiyan. Like, the power scaling on those prices is absurd. How quickly.
Well, that's because all the resellers turned into seals, and all of them go up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. That Sword Art Online set that's like $3,000, that's retarded.
Eventually, I'll get that show, just not now. But I do agree, Ushio and Tora is pretty expensive.
That's for the new series, I'm assuming.
That's for that's.
not
I
the
think
one I
it
have.
comes. I think it comes with the old series as well for the
Oh,
one
what?
that he's pulling out.
Does it really? Is it being released by Sentai?
Yeah.
That would actually kind of make sense because, oh man, it's in the one spot I definitely can't get to right now.
It's a really good show, and there have been rumors of it being broadcasted on Toonami. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be awesome.
It kind of makes sense that they're going to put the old show in there because ADV released the old show. Maybe they still have the rights to it. So, Old Man says he picked up the Red Garden art box on Amazon a few years ago. It was supposed to come with only one DVD, but it was the complete 6 DVD set. That happened to me with Read or Die, which is nice to have. I think I actually have 2 complete collections of Read or Die, but only one art box right now. FDDNM says Garden of Sinners was apparently sold out before it was even released, and it's his most expensive possession.
In that case, what does that tell you about the company?
You tell me. I don't have Garden of Sinners. Like I said, I've got blinders on right now. Just trying to get.
I know what it's released as. It's It's one of these kind of releases.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I own the perfect collection of ooh. People roll their eyes. But I'm afraid how fragile that thing is.
Yeah. I agree. It's
the only reason Ronin Warriors was that expensive for a while was because it was boxed in like that with two of those. Or that's what I speculate.
Yeah,
I could be dead wrong.
Yeah, I imagine you're right because with a set like that, it's so hard to get one that's in good condition because of how stupidly it was put together. And while we're on that note, Old Man says he has 2 art box sets of Welcome to the NHK, but they're both missing Volume 6. I hate to break it to you, but what you just described about Red Garden, where you bought the art box and it came with the whole set, that happened to me with Welcome to the NHK. So I do have Volume 6. It's funny because I actually bought that for like $600, and then when I just tried to get the art box, it came with the whole thing, and I returned Volume 6 and got my $600 back.
Yeah, Shane's picking up stuff like how I do.
Yeah. I totally, like I said, it's great. I've never been to a Go Hastings. I don't think they're in the part of the country that I'm in.
Well, they used to be around.
Well, yeah, but
Go
I know that they're out of business
Sorry.
now, but I never saw one is what I meant. Well, the people I heard talking about them, I thought they were in Canada at first, and I didn't even realize until you brought it up that they were even in.
Well, they weren't in Alabama. There was one in Tennessee. However, before they went out of business, they bought Movie Stop.
Right.
Then some apparent company above those two just kind of, okay, let's get rid of Movie Stop. All right, Hastings, go away. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember when I first found there weren't a lot of FYEs in my area growing up, but when I first found FYE, I practically bought out the whole store. I mean, it was ridiculous. I remember specifically that's where I got the original Geneon box sets of Cardcaptor Sakura, which was really great to have. And then FYE went out of business like shortly after I found them, or the particular one. They're still around. I meant that the one that I went to, the only one near me when I was growing up, went out of business. They
just like Kmart, they're not near you.
Yeah. And Suncoast too, which was owned by FYE. They went. That's actually why I found out about FYEs, because I was shopping at Suncoast, and one day they used a bag that had FYE on the side, and I was like, I feel like I've seen this logo before. And then I started to like look out for it while I was driving, because I could have sworn I had seen it before. And then I finally, it was in one of those weird shopping centers where there's like you can only get to it from one direction, you know, like so. It's kind of like a bad location, and I finally saw it one day, and I like slammed on the brakes and almost got in an accident so I could turn and get into the shopping center to get to it.
What turn? What kind of turn? Left turns. Nothing but left turns to get in here. You want to take a right turn? No, you have to wait for that stoplight.
This is one of the places where you it's like on a really busy street, and you had to be going a certain direction and then make a right into it. It's the only way to get in. And then leaving that place was a nightmare because of how busy that street was, because it was practically right on the corner. And the traffic just does not stop. You have to wait for somebody to let you in. It's ridiculous.
And the different types of stores I've been into, like obviously FYE and Suncoast, but there was also Disc Camelot, Disc Jockey.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those. I had DVD Planet, quote unquote, DVDplanet.com was actually on the side of the building, which is a good way to advertise your website, I guess.
Get rid of them. Hey, we'll take your trade-ins, but you're probably going to find a better price online.
Yeah, the problem with DVD Planet was that for a long time, everything I bought from them, we'd get it home and there was no disc inside because somebody had gone in with a razor blade and like stolen the disc out of the movies we were buying. But eventually they started like,
That's normal for any store. When I used to buy used, I learned, okay, I know how your store functions.
Mm-hmm.
Before I buy this, I would like to open it and see what's inside. They go for it. But yes, I do agree. Masonic Koku needs a 3-box set release, at least for the TV series, not this. Split 3 seasons into 8 boxes, which I get. I get that they split it up to the episode count, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. When I think about rare DVDs, to kind of get back onto that topic, I don't think of okay. First of all, this is something I've noticed recently. Once I buy something, I stop looking for it, right? So a lot of things that I bought while they were in store are now super rare, and I don't even know because I already have them, you know? But when I think of things that are rare, like if you ask me what's the rarest anime that are out there, for me, rare means you can't find it, you know? Expensive, yes, it's expensive because it's rare. Certainly that's not unfair to say that those are rare when they're expensive, but for me, if I can find it, I don't consider it rare. You know, like people often say, I've seen a lot of lists where people talk about the end of Evangelion, and they say, "Oh, it's so rare," and to me, it's not rare because I can find it. I can find hundreds of copies of it probably if I tried, you know.
And to me, they're not looking hard enough because the original 2 Evangelion movies, what makes that one set rare is the cover for the box.
Yeah. It's the slip cover.
You look hard enough, you should be able to find it.
Yeah. So that's basically the point I'm making, is that to me it's not rare if you can easily find it, because there's stuff such as Galaxy Angel Rune 4, which does exist, by the way. I've got it right here.
I know you got it. I hope you.
I know. I'm not showing you. I'm showing them.
Okay.
Just for the record, I didn't pay $5 for this. I just put it in a protective case. But Galaxy Angel Rune 4, it does exist.
Oh, when Right Stuff Mizumi released that as a complete collection. Yeah. No more hair would fall out. No more looking for Gundam Seed movie 2 and 3.
I know. Okay, so I know this. Shane says he owns the 3 ImaginAsian releases that he considers the rarest. I agree. Those are the rarest. I have those. I have 2 complete collections of that. He's got a ridiculous number. He's got like 3 sets of Orgus, 2 sets of Orgus, something like that. Hold on one second. Let's see. So I've got.
Can you find out if he's in the New York area? Yeah, one of the you can't hear me. Well, one of the better finds that I've looked up over the years is this Haruka set, but
oh yeah, I don't have that yet. The volume, is it volume 4 that's the rare one? Well, you've got it. Let me look at mine. I'll tell you which one I'm missing.
I would say the mid ones.
It's 3. It's volume 3 that's rare.
Can you find out if he lives in the New York area?
Who?
The person you said that has Orgus.
Shane?
So, yeah, Shane.
He says he has 4 Orgus sets and 3 cat size. That's ridiculous, dude. Okay, so the sets he's talking about are, I got it stuck on your camera, are Cat's Eye, Nobody's Boy Remy, and Super Dimensional Century Orgus.
Orgus?
Yeah. Has the greatest opening theme of any anime ever, and I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. So,
and then you're just going to have to fight all the Outlaw Star people.
Outlaw Star's got a great opening too. Just to explain why these are so rare. Do you see the barcodes on here? So, okay, Shane says he's in Louisiana.
Huh.
This was so we were talking about Anime Souls earlier. Anime Souls they're like the second rendition of ImaginAsian, which released the set, which is also TMS Classics, or TMS Entertainment was like, this was the classics line. It's just like, imagine this is like the Anime Legends label. It's not really the company. It's like what they called the thing, if I recall correctly. But anyway, they released these on writable DVDs. So basically, they put out volume 1, and you would buy volume 1 with the art box here, and it would have a bunch of empty cases. So for instance, I've only got volume 1 of Remy. So this is how it would come, with all these empty slots, right? So they had a planned release for a total of 8 volumes. Is Hayate Combat Butler 8 rare? And do I have that? And if I do, can I find it quickly? I don't know. It should be right there. It must be on the other side. I do have it. Good. Yeah. See, again, once I get something, I don't pay attention to it anymore. So anyway, so go ahead.
When I look for something like a rare anime series, I check to see if it's available now. Then how hard is it to get it? Like Masonic Koku or Orange Road. I don't know how to pronounce the first part.
Kimagure?
Kimagure
Orange Road.
Now, if it's like Orgus, yes, that release is harder to find. Don't get me wrong. That is very difficult to get, I would think. Mm-hmm. But if I can just get the complete collection, I can watch the show.
Yeah, that's a healthier way to handle it, because Discotek re-released this, and this is actually not a good set to have. But let me just finish explaining real quick. So the reason these have a barcode on them is because when you'd buy the next volume, so like a month would go by or so, and they would release the next one, and you would buy it, and they have the barcodes here because that's how they would, you know, catalog which one, how many they had in stock and everything. So they would send you just the disc, and then you'd stick it in the art box. So the reason this is so rare is because they were manufactured on demand, meaning that they only made enough to fill the orders. And in order to get a set that has all 8 DVDs, it means that a person actually stuck with it, continued to buy them, and they actually went through all 8 DVDs in the process of getting them so that they could complete a set. That means that the only people who have these sets are the people who really, really wanted them. Okay, so that means that it's hard to get these because the people who got them wanted them. They don't just, you know, buy them willy-nilly, because getting all 8 volumes took a long time to collect. Now, at the end of ImaginAsian's lifespan, they did sell things, the complete collections, but I'm not sure that they ever did with Remy, which is why it's so rare. This is probably the rarest anime in existence right here. So anyway, I'll catch up on the chat real quick.
As you catch up on the chat, Chad, I think for the moment, if you look at ADV's calendar, one of the awkward ones to collect would have to be Akigake or Moby Dick. And for some reason, at the moment, Area 88, the OVA and, well, TV series.
That is bizarre. The Area 88 is hard to find now.
Yeah, you think so? You think the danger zone would live on? Or keep cycling?
Yeah, so he, FDDNM says Hayate and Cat's Eye are not that valuable anymore because they have re-releases. True, they have re-releases. Cat's Eye is on eBay right now. This version of it, you can buy this for $1,000 on eBay right now. Just so you know, it's there.
Hold up, show it again. I'm just checking the chat. Okay.
This is on eBay right now for $1,000. Don't spend that much. Okay.
Don't spend.
It's not worth it.
Benefit.
Okay. You have to understand these discs are going to rot. Okay. This is not something you can continue to view. This is just season 1. Season 1 and 2 have been re-released in a much better set on pressed DVDs by Nozomi Entertainment / Right Stuff. Okay. So don't even bother. But this set is rare. It is valuable to collectors. That's the only people who care about this. I got my Cat's Eye for $28. I think. You know that though. You were there when I mentioned that in comments years ago, Shane. So let me just catch up on the chat real quick.
If you're looking for an item and you really just want it now, and you're tired of looking, okay, fine. Spend whatever you like. Don't let the reseller win. If they offer a price that you don't want to pay, that's their problem, not yours. Skip to something else. There's always a way to catch what you want with fish. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Shane, can you do me a favor sometime and tell me what the UPC is on the set you have for Remy? Because if I'm not mistaken, yours must not have this underneath. Contains only 1 disc at purchase.
The later of the Area 88, for some reason, 3's typically the higher cost. 4 is okay, but still way more than volume 1 and 2 of the TV series for Area 88. Yeah. Well, that's when I was looking for it. I now have it. So.
Yeah. Okay, Shane's gonna grab his. I'm just curious if ImaginAsian actually decided to, if they actually printed different covers for the sets, because they're listed on Anime News Network with a different UPC code, but usually what a company will do is they'll just put a sticker with a new code on top. right? So, because then they don't have to bother reprinting. That's bizarre, though. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that they actually got that one out there in that full set. That's, again, it's really rare. It's, I got so incredibly lucky with these sets. Yeah, I used to do that too. Is it still possible to do that, old man? To scan Amazon for the most expensive anime? I used to do that too. I used to search anime back when Amazon used to let you sort by price. I just search anime in the DVD category, and I would sort it by the highest price just to see if I had what was there. I haven't. I think they changed things though. You can't really do that anymore. Like, they don't have that option.
I feel dumb. I never thought of doing that.
What?
I never thought of doing that before.
You've done that? Yeah.
I've never thought of doing that.
You've never thought of doing it?
Yeah.
You can do it on eBay easily. But usually you're just going to get, what do you call it?
Sonic Goku.
No. You're going to get, like, selling anime lot, $3,000 for, you know, like 300 DVDs, which is not a good price. I'll do it real quick. I'm just curious what their top thing is right now. When I did it on Amazon back in the day, there was, I think the most expensive thing they were selling, and again, just because it's the most expensive doesn't mean that it's rare. It just means that the person selling it is charging a ridiculous price. But it was Haunted Junction.
It also doesn't mean that it's going to be the most enjoyable. Wait, how much was Haunted Junction? I got like that for $6.
Yeah, I got it real cheap too. I don't remember, but it was really expensive. It says only one disc get purchased. Computer keeps going to sleep. It says only one disc get purchased, but so does my brand new Cat's Eye. So I assume, yeah, I think they just used the same box. So there's like no sticker on it that has like a, there's no sticker on any of them that actually have like a new barcode on it, because Anime News Network says that they have a different UPC number. All right, so if I sort, I'm just curious, if we sort price plus shipping highest first with the keyword anime, yeah, 1,200 plus Blu-ray, Hollywood, anime, foreign TV, yeah, so it's a bunch of, so for $2,400, signed Fate Zero limited edition Blu-ray box set 1 anime Aniplex anime first print out of print. That's what they've got. And then, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Urusei Yatsura is, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sell it for that price, you have to sell it with the art boxes that it came with.
Yeah, that was like one of our first conversations with each other when I pointed out the Urusei Yatsura hassle. Hopefully Discotheque gets the rest of it, which, looking at Haunted Junction and reading the back of the box, this looks like this would be up Discotheque's alley as well. Maybe Sentai.
Yeah. There's a, I don't think Mr. Nice Guy's here anymore, but for $999.99, there's a Japanese Blu-ray of On Your Mark, which is a music video that Studio Ghibli did.
Isn't that getting a release over here now?
On Your Mark? I don't think so. Are you thinking of Only Yesterday?
No, I'm glad that finally got released.
Yeah, I saw that on Turner Classic Movies when I was a kid.
Oh man, 10 years for this one to get released.
I know, right? What was taking them so long? I think it's because there's a I don't remember if a girl has her period in it or they just there. I remember there being an uncomfortable conversation that I feel like they probably like.
They edited that out of the Kiki dub. Yeah.
They edited it out of the dub, that whole line.
Not Only Yesterday. There's a scene in Kiki's delivery service. She lost her magical powers. Well, if you watch it sub, it's because of, it's hinted that it's that time of the month.
Oh, yeah, just like in Slayers.
Well, Slayers was more hilarious. I do agree with the dub on Kiki's delivery service rather than the sub regarding how it ends. There's this slight, or how people want to report it, a slight controversy on how it ends, where Gigi in the Japanese doesn't talk, signifying she's mature and she's out of those silly games. Where the, may rest in peace, the voice actor for Gigi in the English, he talked at the end. So that, to me, it adds more whimsy to that.
Huh.
But to each their own.
So just to catch up on the chat real quick, Shane says, my brand new Cat's Eye and my used Cat's Eyes look exactly alike, but he doesn't know if the guy he bought it from bought the complete collection as well. Yeah, so I don't know. I bought them secondhand. I got really lucky with these because as soon as I discovered these things existed, I found them from a seller where they sold me all three for $12. But it was just disc 1 and the art box. And the reason that made me so lucky, I'll get to that comment in a question, Shane. The reason I got so lucky is because the person who sold me Cat's Eye he sold all 8 discs, but without the case. And that's part of what makes this so rare. And because I already had the case, that's what made me so lucky. So Shane says, do you guys only collect DVD or do we buy VHS and Laserdisc? Why don't you answer that real quick?
I buy VHS, accidentally a beta of Honey Honey. Laserdisc, I might later on, but not now. But that's only if it's like something I really enjoy, like Cat Girl Nuku Nuku or Tenchi, which I probably accidentally made that more expensive. I stick mostly to DVD. I don't really see Blu-ray taking over how people speculate, because you have people, the whole streaming market. Mm-hmm. Even though people keep saying physical will go away, which there's proof of that, but you still always have to have physical, because Netflix, you don't have everything streamed. You have to do the mailing service. If you look at Hulu, my God, what happened to Hulu? You used to catch stuff like Karate Master, or if you really looked hard enough, Don Dracula. And now it's kind of whittled away into the dust. So even if you do have a streaming license, eventually it's going to go away.
That reminds me, I didn't go and get the mail today. There might actually be some anime sitting in my mailbox right now.
Mail call.
I could run out and get it if you guys want, if you want to take over the stream for a minute. But just real quick, Old Man says, I have Kanazuki no Miko box set. They want $209 for it used on Amazon. It's not worth it. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of crappy anime that's just not worth owning at all. I'll tell you that much. When I bought Nanaka, what is that show called again?
Nanaka 17.
Nanaka 6/17 or something.
6/17. That's a really good one.
When I bought that show, I bought.
You don't like it?
No, I haven't watched it yet. When I bought it used. I'm going back to a previous topic. I bought that used at Book Off for like $5 each, and I looked it up before I bought it. Like, how rare is this? Is there an art box? You know, just the normal stuff you do. I think it was Volume 3 was listed on Anime News Network for $1 million, which is definitely not what it's worth, obviously. But I'm like, I'll definitely buy this. And then there was that one time I bought Girls in Panzer. Where's that? I want to grab that real quick. Hold on.
So you're talking about these, right? You probably don't have you on the screen. Let's try that. Man,
I like how you said you didn't think Blu-ray was going to take over, and yet you've got the Blu-ray and the.
I got a combo. Thank you very much.
So when I got Girls in Panzer, I bought the TV series, and then by some miracle, I just happened to notice that on Rakuten they were selling the OVA series for $1. So I actually printed out the Rakuten thing, It says $1 plus $2.98 shipping. You save $28.98, 96% off. I bought it before they realized that the pricing was wildly wrong, and I shared it on some collector groups and got a lot. I tried to get people to buy it. They're like, I don't know, it doesn't seem, you know. So I got mine for $1. Everybody else missed out because they fixed the price quickly. So let's see. You like collecting VHS more than collecting DVDs? Let me just go grab the mail. Okay, I'm gonna go do that. Why don't you go ahead and regale them with some? Tell them the story about Toonami and the Banjo Kazooie thing. I'll be right back.
Okay, once upon a time, as their third Toonami sweepstakes, you had it was Banjo Kazooie. What you did to enter was watch throughout the week, and they would give you instructions as to how to apply for this contest. So I sat down with my grandmother at the time, as it was a dirt poor family. We went over the instructions. I did what they said, then like Phonitus said, you had a little love to it, you get to go places. So he wrote a letter explaining who I was to them. We sent it off. About 9 months later, I got this package in the mail. My mom wondered what in the world I ordered. I was baffled too. I have not the money or means to do this, so what in the world was shipped? And I got the package. I didn't know how to open it. I was wondering why there was cotton like fur ripping this package open. And in it was a copy of Banjo Kazooie, sealed in the box, and a letter, a piece of paper saying you're a Toonami winner with a bit of a wavy space, whiteboarding going down, and the Toonami satellite doing this gay pose. So I managed to be one of the 500 second prize winners for that sweepstakes.
All right.
Let's see.
So, hold on one second. So I tried to go get the mail, and then I remembered that my keys are at the mechanic, so I don't have access to my mailbox. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're not gonna do the mail. I'm not even gonna get the mail back until tomorrow.
Oh.
Because I don't have the keys for the mailbox. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry.
Okay. Different styles of watching anime, since that was brought up. Honestly, I don't mind however you watch it. Sound quality, I do prefer hi-fi stereo of all things.
To go back to the topic of VHS real quick, because you answered it, I haven't answered yet. I don't collect VHS because of the exact reason that Old Man pointed out, that they take up too much space. But I do have some. Back when I first started collecting, you could say, because this is back before I was, this is when I was a kid. I used to get Dragon Ball Z on VHS. In fact, I even have the Burger King VHS you had to mail in to get, of Goku and Piccolo getting their driver's license. But I do have a couple VHS, but almost all the VHS tapes I've bought that are not related to that particular collection of getting Dragon Ball Z on VHS are things that I bought because of the bootleg series. Like, let me grab one thing, for example.
well, to continue on a little bit, for some of the VHSs that I have now, like Paramount's Wizard of Oz, I also have like this clear casing to put it in so it'll protect from the environment a little bit more, which you can get from eBay.
So to give you a quick example, I picked this up recently. It's the ADV City Hunter Volume 1, because this was from a line they had called ADV Fansubs. And I want to talk about this towards the end of the bootleg series once I get done with all the main stuff where it's actually important. I want to talk about VHS tapes, and I probably shouldn't bring them down because they're kind of graphic and I can't show those on stream. But I have a whole video planned about an adult film company based in California that I caught bootlegging anime, if you can believe it. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be like a fun video at the end of the series. By the way, if you guys see this, this is the pop filter on my microphone. I have it suspended over. So anyway, so I don't collect VHS, but I'll tell you one thing I really liked about collecting VHS back in the day when it was just, you know, before I was doing anime and stuff, is that because of the spines being thicker, the images that you like, it was, that's probably what got me into collecting in the first place, is the idea that you gotta, in order to complete the picture, you gotta collect all the VHS tapes, you know. And I'm a little bit bummed that that's not that doesn't happen on DVDs very much. So let me catch up on the chat real quick.
Another side of VHS that would drive me crazy is sometimes they would come with collectible cards. Collect all 6 cards, you can complete an image, which now we have online, wired, internet, Skynet friendly, whatever you want to call it now. There's not really a reason for it, but back then that would drive me crazy if I had to go out and collect all these cards, create this poster-like image. But I've heard rumored that sometimes when they manufacture it, they might accidentally not put that with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things, to change the subject just slightly, about collecting that's very frustrating, is when you buy something when it's available. And in your mind, okay, I got it, right? Then years later, after it's out of print, you find out that, oh, there was supposed to be a slipcover, but you didn't get it because the person who sold it to you didn't send it. And that's like one of the most maddening things, because then it's like something that you wrote off as complete for a long time, now you have to go and find. Like, for instance, just since we're on the topic of this, I want to ask, actually, if here it is. So Resident Evil Degeneration had a slipcover. Do you guys know if there's supposed to be one for Damnation?
Who released it? Sony.
Both released by Sony. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. Also, there's a third one coming out pretty soon, I think.
Yeah, there's supposed to be one in theaters this summer.
It's called Resident Evil Vendetta. That came out in, or yeah, I guess it hasn't come out yet in Japan. Or yeah, it says Vintage 2017 on Anime News Network. Oh, okay. So he scared me for a minute. FDDNM. He's talking about.
No, that's what I was reading.
Certain scientific railgun magical index. You know, I have to, because the chat doesn't get stored in the archived version of the broadcast. I need to make a point to read the comments out loud. but he says that his brother got a copy of certain Scientific Railgun / Magical Index complete sets on Amazon. One had a slipcover and the other didn't. When he said that, like, that confused me for a minute, because I was thinking, like, that set didn't have a slipcover, but he's talking about the DVDs go into the limited edition. I have the limited edition set, so that's what I thought of. The DVDs go in there, and that actually, on that point, is very frustrating, isn't it? How Funimation, okay, I guess he's talking about the same thing. One has a slipcover, the other doesn't. Volume 2 is the one with the slipcover. Okay, I can tell you that right now, because it says the Blu-ray of Damnation he has doesn't have a slipcover. I don't know if the Blu-rays did. Vendetta already has pre-orders? Are you serious?
That's pretty neat.
Can you send me a link to that? So let me just grab one of those boxes real quick.
I'm wondering if they still have that Resident Evil Ride remote Resident Evil 5 still active. Probably not, but still a curious thing. Ooh. Let's see, swap over. He is still looking. It's kind of weird. He has like this taxi thing going on with Danny DeVito. He gets up close, he looks big, then he just gets out of his stool, and you see how it kind of compares with what's around him.
So what he's talking about, I'm assuming, is this. This one doesn't have a slipcover. This one does. This one doesn't. This one does. So the reason for this, just in case anybody's wondering, is because when you buy the limited edition, Funimation sends it with volume 1 without the slipcover. How frustrating is that? So then when you buy volume 2, it comes with a slipcover, and I'm just now realizing, I bought this from Sam on, you know who Sam is, Augie.
I do.
They're in backwards. But, yeah, so that's frustrating. I wonder if these wouldn't fit, though, because I did something really stupid. Let me see if I can find it. Put these right here real quick. H. Okay, I see it. I'm going to grab it.
Still find it weird that DNA cites 99.9, I'm probably mispronouncing the number, knowing the guy, still has not had a DVD release yet.
Okay. Huh. So he says, I need to turn off the delay on this thing. I need to.
What is that thing that's making a conga drum? Not conga drum, baritone drum.
This?
No, it's. I guess you're shaking the table. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Hold on. Have I picked up Moldiver? Yes, I have, actually.
Oh, that is a fun series.
So
how bad is that one?
Let me explain real quick before I get off topic. Karos. I bought these when they were individual DVDs. A buddy of mine bought the Artbox version because I showed him the individual DVDs, and he was kind enough to give me the Artbox because I had commented how much I liked it. It's actually my friend Dan, who was in the first grab bag video, and he was also in the WonderCon video, if you guys know who I'm talking about. I stuck my copies that have the slipcover on here, and I can't get them out. So
did you tap the back?
It's not a good idea. I'm just gonna leave them in there. I really should just buy another copy with the Artbox and give him back his old Artbox.
Have you tried the trick where you push in one and kind of slightly nudge the other one out?
The problem is I have to use my fingernails, and I'm going to damage the slip covers on here if I'm not careful. So I'm going to have to push from this side and dent this in just slightly, and then get them out. But it's just it was a bad idea. They're stuck together. I can't. Like when I push one in to try to do what you suggested, I can't get the other one out because it goes back in with it. That's how tightly they're stuck in here. Mm. But yeah, don't do that. That's why Funimation must not send them with the slipcover. But Yeah, Karas is great. The first volume is amazing. The second one, not so much, but there's some great scenes in it.
Hey, at least it completes the story.
Yeah, dub is crap though, in my opinion. I don't like the dub for that one. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I mentioned about DNA sites. Huh. Okay, so this is not favored.
I want a DVD. Right now, Discotheque's like, hey, what should we license? I'm like, my answer to that is everything that was licensed and released on VHS only. Go ahead and get those, please, because I'm tired of looking for stuff like Compiler from ADV and finding out. I don't know if that DVD ever came out. Does anybody know?
There's no DVD.
There is no DVD, right? See, it's gonna haunt me forever because there's a
That's
listing
why I got
for it.
volume 1 and 2 of Compiler.
Yeah, there's a listing for it on Anime News Network, but I've never ever once seen the actual DVD of it, and I've never seen a picture of it, you know. And there's another thing on that note. Does anybody know if Disgaea ever actually got an art box? Because that's listed on Anime News Network as well, but there's no picture, and I've never seen an art box for it.
There's a Korean show released by Anime Crash. I think it's Geisters.
Yeah,
volume 4 exists.
I'm
starting to not think that ever did.
I don't think it does. Hold on. Yeah. I don't know why I went to the trouble of grabbing it since that whole point is already over. But yeah, I heard there's an art box for Disgaea according to Anime News Network, but I've never seen it, and I don't know anybody who has it or has ever seen it. So going back to what's rare, let's see. Of the stuff that I have that's not the ImaginAsian releases, I've got Blood Plus. Got lucky with that set. Just off the top of my head from what I can see. Again, once I get something that goes off the radar, so I don't know. I've got a ton of stuff that's super rare that I just don't know is rare. I've got almost the complete catalog of ADV's releases.
Yeah, I'm almost there. Speaking of that, you also have City Hunter.
Yeah, I do.
Which, what's driving me crazy, it deserves a re-release. It deserves more praise, in my opinion.
And a dub.
TV series needs a dub. The movies are dubbed, except for one. That's the last movie. Rio is Dead, which they never released over here. And now you have the anniversary OVA. Then you have the article a few days ago from ADV. I think there's another live-action movie. I could be dead wrong. I apologize if I am.
Hold on one second. Oh, are there more than one? Hold on. FDDNM, just send it to me over Twitter since we have a message going over there. So are there more than one? Are there more than one live-action City Hunter? I know there's a series. Okay, there's
a Korean TV drama series which lasted,
which is not even related to it, is it? Just here's the name.
I think so. They have the same character names, just a different approach.
Yeah.
Because I showed this one lady City Hunter the anime. She saw all the Korean release, and she was offended that that they were in a cabaret. So she knew who Rio was and all the rest.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, for not so much anymore, but she went through a long stint where she was watching a lot of Korean dramas and stuff. Let's see, he sent me a link. Oh, it's on Amazon. Oh, okay, hold on. Wow. Okay, this is.
Okay, Prince. Why in the world did you call City Hunter Nicky Larson? Were you that afraid of the Predator franchise? I don't know why out of all names called City Hunter, probably the simplest to spell, you chose Nicky Larson.
Okay,
I was finding that article.
I'm gonna post that link if anybody wants it. It's the Amazon Canada FDDNM just sent me the link. Yeah, old man. When I first bought City Hunter, I got it in one go at Book Off when I first discovered Book Off. And literally the day I discovered Book Off, I bought all of City Hunter pretty much and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with the art box. And hold on 1 second. Close messages. But
I gave like a horrible Beavis and Butthead expression on the camera.
I had City Hunter 1, Collection 1, and City Hunter 2, Collection 2. And I didn't realize that I was missing Collection 1, 2, and Collection 2, 1 for a while, but I eventually got them. Okay. Grab that link, and I'll just, I can't post that in the chat as easily as I thought I would because it's on my other computer. I do have the JoJo art box. So does, I think you can see it behind Augie too.
Yeah, it's right over.
Okay, is this
here, wherever here is? Yeah, okay. Right over here.
I'm gonna post this link.
Now, why in the world Volume 4? 4 is the rarest. I have no idea. Luckily, I found Volume 4 at FYE for $20. So, grabbed it, got the rest.
For JoJo?
Yeah. Weird production hell for this one.
Very weird.
6 years, then we'll finish.
Well, what's weird about it, just so you guys understand, JoJo has a bunch of different parts, right? And this particular one that we're talking about, the first 3 discs contain, you watch it disc 1 through 6, right? That's how you're supposed to watch it. But the stuff that was contained on discs 4, 5, and 6, I believe it was the second half of the show. It might have been 5 and 6 and 1 through 4, but let's just say 4, 5, and 6 was animated years before the stuff that was animated for discs 1 through 3. It's bizarre. And when you're watching it, the art style just changes slightly. I didn't really notice it other than the colors got more flat because there weren't as many shades. But what's funny is that animation-wise, practically just because Dio's in it more.
I understood right, the reason possibly for this 6-year gap was when they released the first 3, they were trying to promote the game, I think.
Probably.
And later on, I think for the Dreamcast
release, okay. I see what you're saying.
So be just dead wrong. They released the last ones.
Because the first 3 are technically the second 3. So the first 3 is when Dio is heavily in it, and they have the scenes with the steamroller or whatever. So yeah. So why did you sent me this link? Did you want me to post this in the chat?
Yes, that's referring to the City Hunter.
Okay.
And well, hold on. In these OVAs, it's oil tanker.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. Yeah, because it explodes, right? Doesn't it when he's punching it?
It explodes, walks out, does the iconic. This is how he defeats Dio. That's one of the series that I'm current with at the moment. So
I love that that scene when he's in the taxi. Do you remember that?
I like the taxi scene. I like the Polnareff scenes. I like the Polnareff. Polnareff felt more like the main character.
Mm-hmm. I also loved from the first 3 discs. I think it's part of disc 2. The scene where they have the guy who steals their soul by gambling.
Oh yeah, Darby the Gambler.
Yeah, and they do that thing with the chocolate piece underneath the glass.
Yep.
I have. It's funny. Like, I've seen hundreds of shows, and I barely remember anything like, let me just say, a lot of shows are really forgettable. But then there's some shows like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure where I remember so much of that, and I'm seeing it behind me in the feed. Higurashi right here. I definitely remember a lot of stuff from that. But yeah, there's just some shows that really stick with you, even though you may have only seen them once. So I'm curious, for you and also the people in the chat, what your thoughts are on the dub for the more recent, although chronologically prequel version of JoJo, the one with Jonathan and Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, a little bit British. I have no qualms with the dub. How they essentially abridged part 1 and part 2, just so we can move to the stands, because that's where most of the story arcs is.
Abridged in the sense that in Japan,
kind of like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but abridged in the sense that in the anime version, when they were animating in Japan, they cut it down from what the manga source material had.
Yeah, because there's scenes of like them bullying other vampires to find where Dio's at.
Okay.
Luckily, we got the manga over here. They decided to use the museum artwork, which is a great choice because now it's selling well.
Yeah. Old Man says, I went to FYE every week looking for deals. They marked stuff down every week, but you couldn't tell which ones because the DVDs were stocked on their sides. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's what I used to do. I used to go to Suncoast like every day after school, basically, and just, go through literally everything and look at everything that they had, even though I couldn't buy a lot back then because I wasn't working. I would go through
season 1, complete set for season 1, $150. These big brick boxes, unlike these 10 packs of the Ranma Rainbow over here.
Just because it's right here. This is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to own like the first 3 like that. I couldn't afford it.
I hate it. I hate they take up so much room. Those, and right now I'm regretting Gatchaman. Wait, let me see where. Can you guys not see it? No, it's right there. It's right there. Hold on. It's right here.
Oh, come on. Go on down like the Wheel of Fortune and present it like whatever her name is.
Vanna White?
Yeah.
Gatchaman right here. From here all the way to here is just, there's a ton of it. And then also, if you guys can see it.
Hold on. You have to retake that. I believe I talked before you left, so it focused on me.
No, I think I think.
Can we just redo it? Or okay. So.
No. Right here, you guys see this?
You're pointing to Gal Geiger.
The Gal Geiger. Yeah, that is such a pain making videos when that gets into the part where the camera can see it, because when I'm recording videos, and I've got a couple videos on the channel that are like that, your eyes are like focused on that. Like I need to be standing right in front of that to get your attention, because it's just so hard to focus on what I'm saying when you've got these, because they, with the studio lights on, those things are so bright and they're just a solid green and yellow out of nowhere.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
Move the Gasaraki set next to it. That way you finally have the complete setting of relish, mustard, and ketchup.
Well, I'm not going to do that because I've got everything. I've got everything alphabetical. I see what you're saying, though. Yeah, I actually have 2 box sets of Gasaraki right next to each other. You see that?
Oh, the other one's box set? I only have the red one.
Yeah, that's the Paul Champagne. We should talk about that since we're talking about rare stuff. Let me catch them on the chat real quick. So, when something takes up more space, it feels more satisfying, though. Okay. Yes and no. It's just I'm upset about this because of the backdrop to my to my series. You know, when I'm recording the bootleg series and stuff, I have to take into consideration what shows have like plastic wrap on them, because the plastic wrap, especially when it's packaged the way it is on these particular sets that I'm griping about, it just goes white when the light's on it. When the studio lights are on in here, it basically just makes those a solid white color, and it's really frustrating because it's distracting.
I get what he's saying though, because when starting out or just having a moderate collection, you grab something, you put it up there, you don't really see it doing
Shane
anything.
Shane wants to know if I own all 3 Paul's champagne sets. I have more than 3 champagne sets. You mean the 3 that were official?
What in the world's upon Paul Champagne set? Yeah,
Let me grab some of them.
When you do pause, I'm actually trying to do research on it now. Largest boxes get damaged easily.
All right. Paul Champagne is a custom, he makes custom art boxes. So I've got, this is the Gasaraki set. They're made out of metal.
Awesome.
Or at least they feel like metal. They're probably really not. They're sharp. That's the point. They're sharp. They hurt. I don't know if they're actually made out of metal, but they hurt. They almost kind of feel like a refrigerator magnet, but it's firm. Like almost, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. They're not a magnet, but here's the inside.
They won't do it. I just want them to release the last 2 Dragon Ball Z movies in a metal case, just so it just looks.
Say that again. I got distracted by the chat.
Oh, I just want the last 2 Dragon Ball Z movies to be in a metal steel case. That way, it just fits with all of mine.
Yeah. First of all, there's a Berserk champagne box. I didn't know about that one. I have the one I just showed you. I have this one, which unfortunately got damaged in shipping. You can see there's like a huge dent in it right here for Gundam Wing. But I didn't spend a lot to get this, so I'm not going to complain about it. I've also got Cowboy Bebop. I think I have one for the 08 MS team, which used to be over here, but now it's probably right here somewhere. I don't know. But I've got a couple more, I think. I know that one of the official ones was the Bubblegum Crisis one. There's Gundam over there. But yeah, those are the ones that I currently have that I can think of off the top of my head. In fact, since we're on the subject, I was thinking about doing my own custom art boxes on the channel as a way to, like, for instance, just to... Oh, hold on. Because, quite frankly, wouldn't it be nice if somebody could take care of this? Where Funimation made this art box and Volume 3 doesn't fit in it? How annoying is that, right? So I have Volume 2 goes here. I don't have it in there. I haven't opened this yet, but I do have it over there. But Volume 3 doesn't fit. So actually, am I holding Volume 3? Because I might have swapped it for Volume 2 just a second ago. No, this is Volume 3. All right. So I've been thinking about doing for the channel as a way to, because to survive, especially in this climate on YouTube, the way that channels make money is not primarily through ad revenue. It's through merchandising. So to give you an example, channels like Game Grumps. Oh yeah, he's talking. Old Man says he's got the Scried set that's shaped like a big triangle. But the way that channels thrive in this environment now is, let's take Game Grumps for example. you only get so many views on a particular video, and it takes, you know, hundreds of thousands of views to have on every video to have a sustainable channel. But if somebody, let me put it this way, each of you individually, for every video I put out until the end of time, if you were to watch those videos, you're probably going to make me 20 cents, you know, not a lot. But if you were to buy a shirt from, say, Game Grumps, to use them as an example, because they basically modeled that whole Game Grumps thing in order to sell merchandise. So every shirt that they sell is $15, let's say, straight in their pocket, you know? So you earn them only, let's say, 20, maybe 40 cents over the lifespan of the channel in terms of views. But for every shirt you buy, that's a solid 15, right? So I don't really have a brand on this channel that's really marketable in that way. Like, I don't imagine, I mean, maybe you guys can tell me, but I don't think that putting the anime collector logo on a shirt would really sell. I don't think that that would be something people would really want to wear. But doing things like custom art boxes, I thought might be a nice way to, because I want to make them for myself. And these would all be manufactured on demand by me, things where I'm going to make them, show them off in a video, and if you guys like them and think, you know what, I would like to have that to house this set or that set, because there's just some sets that need an art box. Master Keaton, for example, is one set that desperately needs an art box, just because that's such an incredible show, and it needs more than just the gold lettering on the spine, you know. So I'm thinking about doing it for myself personally, just to do it as like an art project. And then if you guys like them, we could make them available online, you know, where you guys could buy them. And I think legally, I don't know if I could legally sell them. I'd probably have to give them away and sell.
You would sell the casing?
I would sell a patch.
Yeah, you already figured that out.
Yeah, basically what I would do is, instead of selling to the legal loophole, is that I would sell you guys one of these patches or a sticker or something, and then you would get the art box. Like, I'd ship it in the art box as a way to, so you'd grossly overpay for the patches, and then you'd get an art box as the thing I shipped it in. But
so if you
yeah, so
show like Ursa Yachts, would that be like not an art box, but an art bookcase at that point?
Say that again. I didn't catch.
If you took a series like Ursa Yachts, at that point, would it be an art bookcase?
It would be a whole shelf. Yeah, but with Ursa Yatsura, there actually are art boxes for that. You can see them.
True.
Right this way, closer, right above my finger right here. I'll just grab it. It's right.
Can you people understand what I'm talking? Or hear me?
Parts 1 through 5. So this one actually had the continuing images, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So for that, you would just release them in smaller things, because the structural integrity of the box needs to be, not to mention, you don't want to have 50 DVDs in one huge art box, because then you get to that point where you're trying to reorganize your collection, and it touches like literally one DVD too little or too much to fit on the shelf anymore, and you got to move all 50 DVDs over. So this is probably how I would handle a lot of stuff, where instead of putting it in one huge art box, let's say the 22, oh, that's another one actually I've got the champagne art boxes for, Rurouni Kenshin. There's 22 discs in that, and it's separated into 3 art boxes. So that's how I would probably handle it. Because you got to keep in mind, that you need the artwork to. Initial D has a 21 volume art box. That's nuts. you need to have artwork long enough to fit on it anyway, you know. So that's my thought process behind it. But I'm just curious what you guys think about. I could make collector meme shirts if you guys have any any memes to put on shirts. I actually thought about this. Let me pull some of these up real quick. Something I wanted to do, because you know how oh yeah, the Samurai Deeper Kyo art box is made out of wood. I feel like that would mold over time. Is the Kamichu, that Kamichu art box feels like wood, but it's probably just textured cardboard.
Let's see, there's also an Inuyasha box set that's made out of wood as well. The whole reason I brought the whole bookshelf, mini bookshelf idea was, if you look at Bleach or Naruto's manga, Viz released it as an edition where you could just buy this box of stuff just to get all the volumes.
Yeah, when they did that with Inuyasha, they did that in a style similar to Urusei Yatsura. Well, actually, what they did was they sold, because I have one volume of Inuyasha. Before I met my wife, I had one volume of Inuyasha where it came with a figure. Okay, so it came with an action figure, really, right? And when I met my wife, she already had like the entirety of Inuyasha. So we found that you could actually stick the volumes of manga into the box that the figure had come in, right? And they fit like they're meant to. Yeah, you still have that moldy Kamichu. Yeah, is that working? Is the dryer sheet helping it? I found out. I'm not sure if it's mold. Let me grab some. This really messed me up last night when I saw this.
But speaking of big box sets that damage easily, I do agree with this Gundam Zeta box. It's in decent condition, but like the sides and stuff just crease, and I don't know how to fix that besides just leaving it alone like I always do. It's always when I move, I have to treat this as fragile. Oh, he's back. Say something. Say something. AC, you're back.
Yeah. On the bottom of my collection one of Sailor Moon, I can't tell. Oh God, it's so hard for you guys to see this. I'm going to turn on the studio lights for a second.
No filming in a live audience.
All right. That's still hard to see. Let me pull these lights down. Oh, God, it's really bad. I don't know if it's mold or just some sort of shelfware, but there's this black thing right here, and it really is making me nervous because this is like the one set I don't want to have to relocate, even though it's much cheaper now than when I bought it because of the fact that Viz released the box set of the Blu-ray and all that. Oh, yours has the same thing. Wait, hold on. Are you talking, Shane? Are you talking about Sailor Moon, or are you talking about something else somebody was saying?
Or was it the Zeta box?
He says Scrap Princess came with anime figures with each volume. Yeah. And Shane says my box set has the same thing. I'm not sure if he's talking about that or if he's talking about the Sailor Moon thing.
You mentioned Sailor Moon. He said, yeah. That
he says, yeah.
Pronouns. They own something. Sailor Moon. Okay. So,
Hatham Spiegel says, any oddly shaped DVDs that throw off the collection organization? I go out of my way not to get those if I can. Well, actually, since you brought it up, I got two things I can grab.
For me, that would have, ironically, would have to be the Rurouni Kenshin premium box sets, the one that looks like wood, but it's chipboard cardboard. All because when you put it on,
Oh my God,
together,
they're so
it
heavy.
slips off.
Why are these
Or
so
you
heavy?
can't really set it up and it stays there because you have the CD pack, CDs and the sleeves. It just wants to all tumble out. And you're back.
Okay, so he said, yeah, it is Sailor Moon. I don't know what's causing it. It almost looks like a problem with the adhesive. Yeah, so I was about to bring that out, that up, FDDNM, about Gantz. Gantz is one of the ones that's in that orb, and I think Giant Robo has one like that too.
Are those inflatable, or is it just that's where you put the CDs in this orb thing?
Yeah.
The other way.
Yeah, you put the CDs in the orb.
But they didn't do it to Star Wars. The one thing you would think that they would have.
Yeah. So things that don't fit in my collection: Little Witch Academia from the Kickstarter campaign. They are in this retarded. Does it need that much room? Are we being for real here? That couldn't have fit in a normal size DVD. Also, I accidentally bought these, not realizing it was NIS America when I bought them on Right Stuff. So I've got the NIS America Premium sets for Umineko, which is like part 3 or part 4 of Higurashi. I don't know. So I've got that, and then I've got 2 more things that don't fit that I don't know why I got them. They're both up here. Hold on.
As he's taking a break to stretch his arms, one of mine is the Hexabox.
Yep.
And also the Ninja Turtles Turtle Band, but that's not anime. Hey, for what we are talking about. Umaru-chan, obviously, that's the big dub. Let's see, and the Maizime Zegway, if you can see right over there. It's not a common occurrence. Sometimes it's neat to get something a little different for what you buy or watch. Makes it a little special. Now, if it turns out to be like 30 of them, yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. But
Okay, so I also got Darker Than Black Premium Edition, which again is in a ridiculous case because it's like, oh, it's like a dossier. It's in black and it's got this like thing where you got to unwind it. I haven't even opened that. And then I bought this too. This looked on the website. I thought that this was a different shape. It's the Cowboy Bebop vinyl one.
I remember Soul Eater having like this yearbook or special edition right when the Darker Than Black came out. You just showed.
Probably shouldn't have done that. I might have just showed off my address. Actually, did I get this shipped to this address? No, I didn't.
So what's the weirdest one that you've occurred?
The weirdest one, what?
To the audience, what's the weirdest thing that you've seen for a box set or have?
Well, let me answer these questions real quick. Giant Robo is such a pain in the ass to own. I would totally agree, which is why I don't own that version. Same goes for Gantz. Do you worry about acid damage from storing the art boxes next to each other?
Depends on how papery it is. If it's like it has a finish and I'll move it. I don't.
Does that happen from the paper touching each other? Because something that I plan on doing after I'm done with the room tour is I'm planning on doing a tip video about resealing things in, like I'll just show you guys right now since I've probably got something over here that I could demonstrate with. Do I have anything? This is a bad example, but it'll get the point across. So this art box still has the plastic wrap on it. I just cut a little hole so that I can put the DVDs in it. in order to protect the art box from shelf wear. So once I'm done,
I do the same.
yeah. Once I'm done with the room tour, because I want to have stuff accessible so that I can show you. Anything that I've already completed watching, I'm going to reseal in shrink wrap. And yeah, exactly. A shrink wrap tutorial tip video is something I'll be doing as soon as possible. I want to get that done after the room tour. Well, here's the thing about the room tour. So once the bootleg series is done, which, by the way, the bootleg series is making a lot more progress lately. It's been going really well, especially because I've been talking with Augie so much.
Hello.
It's been very beneficial for me to sort of get my thoughts verbalized, and it makes it easier to comprehend and sort of redigest it so that I know how I want to put it out into the series. And I've actually made a decision recently, because there's a lot of stuff that I had to spend a lot of money to get information wise that I want to include in the bootleg series, but it's not relevant. Like, it's not worth it. It's overall the amount of time it would take to explain everything just for you to get this bit of information isn't worth it. So what I'm going to do is anything I don't cover in the bootleg series, I'm just going to talk about in more detail in the room tour. So once the bootleg series is done, I'm going to let me rephrase. Well, yeah, I guess once the bootleg series is done, because there's going to be a main series for the bootleg series, right? There's an intro video. There's a video where I'm going to talk about burned DVDs, burned bootlegs primarily. Yeah, the bootleg series has been a long way in the making. Then I'm going to talk about the Hong Kong Malaysian. I'm going to talk about some specific bootlegs, and then I'm going to talk about the one-to-one copies. And I really need to get through this. It's just funding for the series doesn't exist. It's all on my back from the work. I have to work a bunch of jobs to make money. And then this series is costing me a fortune because I have to buy the bootlegs, particularly those one-to-one copies. And then I also have to buy the legit version of those sets, which can be incredibly difficult to find.
Show them those VHS fairy tales you got.
The VHS ones?
Please tell me it's not up there.
They're up here. I could show you, but I gotta cover them because they're graphic.
No, not those. Not those.
Fairy
tale. Once upon a time, long ago, sweet grandmother's kisses. Go carry the brownies off. The one with the mouse and the thumb.
Oh, the
there you go.
Mouse and his child.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it rated.
Yeah, let me grab those real quick.
All right, checking the chat. Giant rules. I meant magazine bags. That's a quick way, I guess.
To answer your question, Shane, you say you have like 3 Bandai Anime Legends bootlegs that look just like the real ones. I have over 4 dozen bootlegs from the one-to-one bootleggers so far, so they might be. Which sets in particular are they? So anyway, here's what he was talking about. These VHS tapes I picked up for the mouse and his child. And I bought these as part of an investigation for something that is so not relevant to most of the series, but I just need to get an answer to. And that's just an example of having to spend money to get answers.
For shrink wrapping, my 2 cents, if you have something like Afro Samurai, which has slightly damage from this, or Comic Party, which does not, don't. I would avoid shrink wrapping those because the heat will affect the plastic covering.
Right.
Probably more professional way. I'm not familiar with it.
You don't need to use a heat gun like they tell you to. You can actually do it with a blow dryer. Just so you know. And the way that I would prefer to shrink wrap is the way sort of like Book Off does it, where, like, for instance, these are sleeves you can buy, which is what I'm going to do for most things, where it has an adhesive strip, right? I just stuck this in here. This is actually double shrink wrap just because I don't want it to get damaged. So you can slide it out, you know. So that'll be something I cover in the series because I prefer this. So regarding things shrink, let me just finish this thought real quick. So with the room tour, just to clarify, the room tour is going to give us more than a year's worth of weekly content because I'm just going to go one shelf unit at a time and just get through the whole thing. And I'm going to record those and schedule the uploads. So I'm going to finish that series before you guys are done watching it. I don't know how soon, you know, how long it'll take me to finish it, but I'll definitely be done with it before you guys are done watching it. And then as soon as I'm done recording and scheduling all the uploads, I'm going to move into the shrink wrap tip video. So you'll see that before the room tour is done in terms of you being able to view it. And I'm planning for people who, as a perk, if anybody wants to fund on Patreon, I'm planning to create an email list that I can plug into private videos. So videos like, let's say, all the videos in the bootleg series that I'm not going to release until the final video on the one-to-one copies is done. That's once I get done with the main series, I'm going to release one day at a time over the course of like 5 or 6 days, all the videos for the bootleg series. And then I've got 2 more videos for the bootleg series that I'm going to work on once the main series is out there, where I'm going to talk about some stuff like, do I have any right here that I could just show you because they're so frustratingly difficult to explain.
While you're looking,
there's this thing. Go ahead.
While you're looking, I bring up these things again. Not the VHS, but there's a plastic on it. Like, you also see this for video games. I have talked to the guy who does, and he said that he would be able to make it for DVDs as well.
Oh.
Not particularly the kind I was trying to get was something for one of these releases where you have like hoops.
Those are so stupid. Why is that a thing?
It is a gimmick back when DVD was in its infancy. They didn't know, or they probably knew and expect the dum-dum to hold it. It drops out. You have to go buy another one. I don't know. Maybe it was planned obsolescence.
Let me see. I bought Green Legend Ron. I want to make sure that I actually got it because I buy so much stuff sometimes. And I buy stuff in bulks. Like I'll go through. Yeah, I do have it over there. I don't have that version though, thank goodness. But I buy stuff in such big quantities, like bursts of. Okay, I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to wait a while. Then I'll buy these. That sometimes I forget to make sure I got it eventually. You know. Okay, so let me get back to the chat here. So. Okay, so I store some of the art boxes in acid-free magazine boxes. So let me ask you if hold on.
He vanishes. So what are some re-releases that you would like to see eventually someday?
What's up?
I asked them what kind of re-releases they want.
Oh.
I'm probably not going to get a response, but it would be nice.
So this is one of my Paul Champagne art boxes for Rurouni Kenshin. They shipped it to me like this. Is this the kind of thing you're talking about? I mean, this is for protecting it, right, from scratches and whatnot. But you're saying you keep them in acid-free magazine boxes. I mean, this is one of those things where you gotta kind of keep in mind that he meant
magazine bags.
Okay, that's not a bad idea actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did. Go ahead.
Nah, go for it.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to do my research before making this video because I know that some things, that acid, it leaches. I know. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I would love Star Blazers to be re-released. Apparently, what I saw from a friend's collection was a bad copy, I guess. I remember watching a bit of the show, and it was like a horrible quality. I don't know if it was what he was doing or if it was the set, but
I have the 4 box sets that have the art box where the spine doesn't look like a typical spine. It looks like the Kimagure Orange Road spine. That's not what you're talking about, right? Is that what you're talking about? Do you know?
me, I don't know. I'm going by the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh well.
Okay, so Eureka 7 Collection 2. Oh wow, you think your Tideline Blue is also fake? Do you have Tideline Blue? It must be as a box set. I'll have to look into those. Eureka 7. Just to give you guys I'm going to give you a little precursor to what you can expect from the series real quick on what we're going to be looking at in terms of the 1-to-1 bootlegs. Let me grab it real quick.
Also, if you're curious, I think it's in the description below. On the YouTube page, through Twitter, I'm also photographing each of what I have as well. If you're curious to see what's around me besides the stuff that you currently see. Yeah, I'm begging for Kurigami or Orange Road or Sayats, or tell me about it. I envy Brad. However, it shouldn't be
Where is that? What the heck?
be about what 60 so DVDs. It's still, but that's why
All right, you guys, particularly Shane, this is for you. I want to make this perfectly clear. I've developed a new technique to deal with these 1-to-1 bootlegs, okay? It's a bit more complex. I'm going to show you visually how you can spot these. These bootleggers have modified their technique since they released this set. Okay, so things have changed a little bit. This isn't a foolproof method, but I have a method that I've developed that will give you the answer immediately. But I'm not going to talk about that today. It's very complicated. It's one of the major reasons why the series is taking so long. So here's the bootleg version. This is the 1-to-1 bootleggers. It's the type of case that they're using that looks like the Funimation Save Edition. All right, they're these cheap modular pop in and out type cases. Shane, if yours looks like this, then it's one of the bootlegs. This is the official release. This is how the box set is supposed to be laid out. All right, so that's all I'm going to say for now. That's a way you can visually tell. Let me know, Shane, if your Ghost in the Shell second gig and Tideline Blue look like that, if that's the reason why. You just hit me up later and we'll figure this out, because I'd like to, with the 1-to-1 bootlegs, I'm trying to obtain everything that they've bootlegged so that I can show it and demonstrate in that video. I'm gonna give you guys in that video I'm gonna give you guys my opinion as like I'm gonna give you my new technique. I'm gonna show you what you need to do and how you can determine for a fact that something is or isn't something that these 1-to-1 bootleggers have hit. And then I'm going to basically walk you through a couple of them. And then eventually I'm just going to show you all of them. You know, like they got this set, they got this set. And then on each individual set, if there's something specific other than what I just showed you with the case, like where I could apply that to a lot of different sets, I'll walk you through in detail everything. And then after that, I'll update the description over time if I become aware of more and more sets they hit. But my hope for this is that when we get to that video in the series, I'm hoping that I will have gained enough. I'm hoping that the videos will go somewhat viral. I'm hoping that they'll get shared on Anime News Network, and they'll just make their way around where this information is going to get out there, and we're going to hit enough people to the point where anybody who has already been a victim of these bootleggers is going to go to the eBay seller, the Amazon seller, and they're going to say, hey, the item that you sold me is a bootleg. You know, and those sellers, because you have to understand that these bootleggers are not the ones selling them. They're using a multi-level distribution chain to basically launder them away from themselves before they actually get into the hands of the customer. So what's going to happen is I've found a lot of people on eBay who are selling these sets got these sets from a different seller on eBay. You know, that's what I mean by this distribution chain. So basically what I'm hoping happens is I'm hoping that enough people complain to these different sellers, and then these sellers say, wait a minute, what the hell? All these people are complaining right now. They want their money back. I need to talk to my supplier. They go to the next person in the chain, they complain, and eventually it gets to the point where they have to stop buying things from the bootleggers to sell in their stores because of all the complaints and all the people asking for their money back, because we rose awareness so rapidly that the bootleggers themselves are going to take such a financial hit from all these people in the distribution chain wanting their money back. And wanting to send things back to them for a refund because they're selling bootleg products, that the bootleggers are going to be hit so hard that it collapses their whole system, their whole operation. That's what I'm hoping we can do, because this is becoming a real problem. And the thing that pisses me off about it the most is that these particular bootleggers are targeting us. They're targeting collectors because they know that we are willing to pay a little bit more to have certain series in our collection, certain versions of series. So because of that, they're able to target us. And that's the reason that I'm going after this so aggressively. All right, let me get back into the chat real quick.
While you stepped to the side, I asked what re-releases that they would like to see. I agree with most of them. And I kind of said some of them too, but nothing wrong with repeating. I believe he meant to say can relicense. Maybe. Yeah, I agree with Masonic Koku, Urusei Yatsura, Star Blazers, and regarding Orange Road.
So I'm just laughing at FDDNM says the bootleggers sound like they operate like Aniplex. I have
they're a lot less forgiving.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with all the anime companies, so I have like a made-up name for all of them. Aniplex is Any Money Left. Pony Canyon is Pony Cash Gone. You know, so I just have a name that we behind the scenes we call these companies because they just steal all your money.
So not Pony Up for Pony Canyon?
No, I just call it Pony Cash Gone. That's just the name I came up with it. A Pony Up's a pretty good name for it though.
I feel like Viz just doesn't listen when it comes to DVD releases. We got Ranma re-released really decently, I think. I don't think that they did anything to the audio with the nicer Blu-ray box sets.
Mm-hmm. So while I've got people watching in the stream, I just want to ask, does anybody have one of those old bootlegs that has that weird demented Hello Kitty logo on it? Because I've been looking for one of those. For the second video in the series after the introduction, and I haven't been able to find one that I could actually because I need to know what sets they hit so that I could get one and say, okay, here's a different company, you know, if need be. So I'm just curious if anybody's got one.
Let's see, the one I pointed to you,
was Ricky-O.
Was Ricky-O, the first one, and it's like a dead Hello Kitty with the head falling off the pipe. I don't know why they thought that. But
I picked something up at WonderCon. Hold on.
Wonderful. So, what got you immersed into into the Japanese culture? Was it anime, or was it like a local convention? Daddy or mommy went to Japan in the military and brought you to?
For me, it was anime. But here's something I picked up at WonderCon. This is going to be in my series on burned bootlegs, and I just love this Old Man Films. You know, and it's got like his address and stuff.
If it has the phone number, give him a call.
No, it doesn't have a phone number.
Darn.
So I talked about this in one of Mr. Nice Guy's streams. Are there any of these I can show? I don't think there are.
Looks like someone might have some expensive, some masking tape.
No, I can put my finger over it. All right, so
that doesn't.
I hope I didn't show anything. I can censor it later with YouTube's facial blur feature. But these are, in fact, if anybody watching has these, I'm looking to get the rest of them. There's a adult film company called Filmco, and I caught them releasing bootlegs of anime that I knew they didn't have the rights to, because it is a bizarre release. But I'm going to put this back so I don't have to keep holding that finger. But
ooh, you giving the finger.
But when I discovered that they were bootlegging this stuff, because okay, so I really got to explain this. So this is what I was trying to explain earlier. Augie calls these the skinnies. These are dollar store DVDs. This one was released by East West. Got up to get his. Let me lock my camera here. This one's from East West Entertainment DVD. EastWestDVD.com. East West Entertainment LLC. Oh, dude! Man, I wish you still had that. I would totally buy that off of you. Shane says he used to have a bootleg that said it was an unofficial bootleg release on the back. That's hilarious. Do you remember what it was of? Maybe I can find it still. What show? I mean, these are. I'm giving you a little demo of part of the series. This is going to be the video that comes out after the one-to-one bootlegs, the one-to-one counterfeit guys in the bootleg series. I'm going to talk about these guys. So for all you know, these could be legitimate, and they should be, because you buy these at the dollar store. You know, you could find these at the dollar bin at Best Buy, you know, but every once in a while they'll do something where they release something like this.
Oh, really? A fistful of dollars, it's a fistful of skinnies. Ugh. Well, then again, there's some good ones. You got like,
basically,
the Thumbelina Adventure is really good.
Well, basically, as far as you know, there's no reason to think that this is a different company. This is DigiView, which was a more respected version of East West Entertainment LLC. But for all you know, these are things that they have the rights to. There's no reason to believe they don't. And then they release something like this, and you're like, wait a second. I think Discotek had the rights to that. And just to show you, it's definitely this one as well. It has a different cover. The artwork on the cover is just some random thing. It doesn't look anything like the character in the actual show, but it is this. Okay, it is the Discotek one. And then you're like, okay, hold on. If they don't have the rights to this one, what about everything else in my collection they released? Did they not have the rights to that either? And that's something that I call in bootlegging the gray area, in the sense that you bought these things from a dollar store, Dollar Tree, 99-cent store, whatever you want to call it. You may be able to find these at the dollar bin at Best Buy occasionally. So you're buying these from places where things should be legitimate. You know, you expect them to be legitimate, and you start collecting them because they're anime that hasn't been released on DVD any other way up to that point. These are mostly VHS things that were at one time released on VHS. In fact, most of them look like VHS rips. But so you start collecting them, and then okay, he says he doesn't have the Hello Kitty symbol. Okay, so you start collecting these, and then you find out that that they release something they clearly didn't have the rights to. And this is one of many examples I'm going to show in the series. And that's where I call it the gray area, because you sort of, the companies are so small and so obscure that the websites are down usually by the time you even realize that these existed and you start collecting them, because they're so under the radar. You start collecting them, and then you eventually get one like this where you're like, okay, something's not on the up and up. And because of that, you kind of have to determine for yourself as a collector where you draw that line on what is or isn't admitted into your collection. For me, I keep these in my collection. I kind of let them slide, because I'd rather have the stuff that DigiView released, like the Wonderful Galaxy of Oz and all these really obscure stuff that nobody's ever heard of. I'd rather have those than not have them. So I keep them in my collection, and I can't know if they're on the up and up or not until I find one like this. And then oh, DigiView's entire catalog is now called into question. But what about East West Entertainment LLC? Well, I have to find one that they released during the same time that another company had the license to know for sure. So with Filmco, that adult film company, I caught them on Crying Freeman, and because they're an adult film company, most of the stuff they're releasing is adult titles. So it's Crying Freeman and oh god, what's that show? Oh, Genki Clinic. And they released something the same year that Right Stuff released a re-release of Genki Clinic. So I was like, got them in the bag. So I'm just getting back to the phone call after all this. You said to call the Old Man Films thing. I called Filmco. I did. And I filmed it, and it was one of the most uncomfortable conversations I've ever had in my life. And it was a moment where I was so glad that a YouTuber has the opportunity to edit videos and decide whether or not they want to upload them, because that did not go as planned at all. I thought it was going to be hilarious, because I thought that I was going to call them and it was going to have this really like raunchy call waiting music or something, like a message, like when you call Right Stuff and you get a message from Justy Yoeki Tyler or Alucard from Helsing, and they ask you to wait. They tell you to like hold, and then they have like music or whatever. I was expecting that. Didn't get that. Then the woman who answered the phone sounded like she was 190 years old. And it was bad. So anyway, but yeah, that's going to be its own video. So I'm going to do an intro video to talking about the Filmco stuff by talking about the gray area. And then I'm going to branch off into Filmco, which released a bunch of stuff, mostly cream lemon, in a raw Japanese, meaning there's no subtitles, VHS rip format looking. Like, they're really bad. I think what happened is the guy who runs the adult film company went to Japan at some time, and he bought a bunch of Japanese porn. And then he just brought it back to the States, made VHS copies of it, and started selling them, is I think what happened. I don't know. But I want to talk about that just because I want to sort of go over a lot of the research I did, just as a fun video for the series. But anyway, that's what you guys have to look forward to. So let me see.
So going back to the comments, we have Enchanted Journey, which is, well, Bambi, let's see, Old Yeller, but with a deer. I think Smile did not show that in their broadcast. Can you show them Dog Tanya?
Yeah, let me grab Enchanted Journey too.
Okay. Some of the skins, most of them are just crap, horrible, not even good quality. But every once in a while you might find something that's sort of worth it. But if you have a VHS of it, it's probably better. Like Panda and the Magic Serpent, or Well, this got a full re-release, DVD release, but like the little prints. One common problem I see with a lot of these is that it should not come to some surprise. Because it's a thin pack, they break easy.
Okay, so
Shane, pay for, huh? But
sorry, so Shane is saying, I'm assuming that you were calling back to when I asked what the bootleg was. You said it was of an anime called Enchanted Journey. Okay.
Oh, I misread that.
All right, so I'm assuming the version you had wasn't this one, which I'm pretty sure is the official release, released by Blast Films.
Hold on, one look. Okay, I am dead wrong.
So
I just made a jackass out of myself. What am I thinking of? Go on.
I'm just reading. Okay. So here's Dog Tanyan.
So you do not have to go bother the Mondo Skinnies for it. You can just go buy the Canadian set.
Oh, did Mondo release this?
Yeah, Mondo released a few
No
Skinnies.
Way.
It's not worth it since you showed me that.
Yeah. I have the Mondo release of Snow White. Ugh. I knew that Mondo had released Snow White. I've got 3 volumes of it here. So he's talking about Mondo TV Dream Factory. How's the quality of the Dog Tanyan on the Mondo Skinnies? Does it look like a VHS rip?
I do not know. When you showed me that, I was smart enough to just get that instead.
Yeah, okay. All right. So this was released by BRB International, which is I'm assuming is a foreign company. I think it's in Italy or something. I don't know why I feel like that is, but it just seems like it. But they also released the Adventures of Willy Fogg. This is Journey to the Center of the Earth, Around the World in 80 Days, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And we discovered that, what was it? The something Jones?
Okay, what I was describing, its alternate name was
Montana
Fawn. Oh yeah, Montana Jones.
Yeah, but I don't know if it is because it looks like the same art style. Maybe it's the same creators, but there is a Willy Fogg entrance on Anime News Network. So from what I understand, this was originally like a 50-episode show, and they just took certain episodes and edited them together to create these series that follow the Jules Verne. That's who wrote 20,000 Leagues, right? To go through the different stories here, the literary works. So anyway, I got to look up that Enchanted Journey bootleg. That's hilarious that it's.
Okay, what I was thinking of was the Yearling, aka Fortunate Fawn. Yes, from Felix Video. I do apologize for giving this information. Speaking of those compilations, I found this weird. So you have Vanguard Ace, and the spine is the same color. You have Starzanger, and you have this like whole space thing going on. I kind of like that. And you have Discotheque releasing Guy King with the red, like it should be, because you have the whole fire thing going on. Then you have Guy King with the whole fire thing, but it's baby blue. I don't know why they chose to do that.
Nobody said they had to be consistent.
That's true, but it would be nice.
It would be. Bunch of VHS copies of Enchanted Journey. I'll look at these later. All right, so we've been streaming now for close to 3 hours. What time is it for you? Well, I guess it's only about to be 2 for you, huh?
It's 2 o'clock for me, so normal time when we usually speak.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to know. I was thinking about, like, these podcasts are going to be archived automatically onto the channel, and I was thinking about having a playlist for the raw broadcast, and then also edit down the video to just sort of get the main points and cut out all the hold on, I'm going to go grab something, you know, because that eats up a lot of time. But I honestly don't want to spend more energy than is necessary working on the podcast, because that's time that I'm taking away from working on the bootleg series. So I'm just curious for you guys, if you missed a podcast, if there was a day when we were doing this and you were unfortunately unable to view it, would it be worth it to you to actually go back and watch the raw version of the broadcast you missed? Or is it something where it's only really worth it if you actually got to be there and interact in the chat and ask questions and talk about things? Or would you actually prefer it if I did edit down stuff so that you could digest it quicker and just get the main points, if that's something I could do? I think you guys have a 10-second delay too.
I did.
So, for example, if I'm sitting here waiting for people to answer a question in chat, I could cut that out. Okay, so Shane would prefer the raw version. I mean, both of them, if I were to do this, both versions would be available. They would be in the description of each other. Like, hey, this is the cut version where we cut it down for time. Raw version is here. Click that. And the raw version says, this is the raw version. If you just want the important bits, here it is in this video. Yeah, it's not so much a ton of work. I'm not gonna go crazy with it, except that if we were to cut it down, it's gonna make it easier for people who come into the series way later to get caught up with the things we've talked about, you know. Which is, I don't know. I mean, watch time wise, I make more money on YouTube if people sit through the whole thing in the raw version. I'll make a lot more money, but I'll get a lot more viewers if I shorten it, is the thing.
I'm not getting any money out of this.
Yeah, well, for the record, when we get 1,000 subscribers on the channel, it'll automatically enable what's called super chat. And I'm not suggesting that you guys should feel like you have to donate money, but there's a super chat has a thing where you can submit like a comment with a dollar amount attached to it so that it lingers at the top. Just saying, if anybody were to do that, I'm going to split it with Augie, just so you know. Unless it's specifically stated this super chat is directed at this person, I'm just going to split it, just so you know. I just want to make that clear. Yeah, I'm thinking, so FDDNM suggested maybe a highlight reel after a month or something.
Yeah, that's something that I've been mentioning to you for
right.
the one we did talk about.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking. The CUP podcast, the Pat the NES Punk does, on his channel, he takes snippets from it and puts it as its own video. If there's something that I feel was really worth it, like if we had a guest on and they brought in some really like pertinent information, because I don't feel like anything particularly that we've talked about tonight was worthy of like a little clip, but if we had something like that, I might release those little things because it's a good way to advertise the podcast and it's a more digestible format. So but anyway, I'm just curious what you guys like this format. How's the time for you? Is this a good time for you guys? Because I know it's getting late and it's a Thursday. So, for instance, Old Man and Augie are both up at 2 a.m. I know Augie doesn't have work tomorrow, right? That's why we're able to do this.
Yeah, that's pretty much why.
Yeah. So I just want to know. Okay. Yeah. So people are saying the raw. That's fine. That makes it easier on me. So I'm gonna record them for until like the hard drive I'm recording them to really fills up, so that I'll have because I record them so that I can record my audio separate from Augie's, so the editing will be easier, and so that I can have my camera recorded separate from what Google Hangouts is showing me. So
they're trying to wrap it up, but if you like one more topic to get through, that's
I'm not trying to wrap it up. I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure I brought this. Go ahead and if you got another topic that you think is worth bringing up, we could.
Not really about anime, but more Japanese version, or whatever the correct word is called. Last weekend, I had the Daikin Festival in my hometown, which is a free Japanese festival supported by Daikin to just show that they're there. We're here for the people. So from there, I got a few trinkets. First up, this Great Waves Happy Coat, which they just gave out
cool.
for free.
Yeah, I'm gonna click on use.
Guess now they have like a mascot.
There you go.
It's got character.
Oh, nice. Do you know who Wow-kun is?
They had a draw. I'll just put this on. They had a drawing where you picked a marble, or in a sense, it was supposed to be like one of those crane. You spin it, then it poops the marble. Well, instead, they just have people grab into a bag, pick out the marble. They ran out of prizes, but they at least gave me the marble. And also, for the youngins that come over here, they get to practice their calligraphy.
Oh, nice.
I cannot find that. Batman a little coat, guys. They had them do some calligraphy. So I suggested open chest for this, but instead I got
nice.
open case.
Oh, that reminds me. Like I said, I want to spend as little time as possible. That's why you couldn't hear me, because you took off your headphones. I want to spend as little time as possible really working on this podcast. I want it to just sort of be a relaxed
Oh, come
thing.
on. They want people to laugh at the Batman. I can't put on a jacket.
But if anybody wants to draw like a logo for the open chest, that'd be totally fine with me. Because I was thinking about a logo with like the Rooster Teeth podcast, how they've got that condenser mic or whatever that I don't know what it's called. That special kind of mic is like a what?
Are you talking to me or them?
I'm talking to everybody.
Okay. I'm not familiar
but
with
you
that.
know, okay, what they're the people who do Ruby, but those microphones. Let me just pull up a picture of it. I'll pull up a picture of a microphone. I was thinking, like, just if anybody wanted to do one, I was thinking of those old like radio microphones. I guess I don't know, just like a microphone that looks like it would go with the podcast. Yeah, see, I thought of that too, FTDM. He's saying he was thinking of a logo with a human chest spewing out DVDs. I was thinking of an open chest with a microphone coming out of it, and then maybe a drawing of Augie and I. But that's okay. Let me do this.
The only thing I would add to the chest is like a Dharma inside.
Yeah. Let me hang on. Yeah, I'm going to post the link in chat instead of just bringing it up here, because I don't want to go to the trouble of sharing the screen again.
I'm sorry if you hear.
I keep trying to post in the wrong chat with my other computer. Okay, there's the image. That's what I was thinking about. Because again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's taken away from the. Yeah, if you just want to do something, I mean, I could do it. I've got the means. My Cintiq is in California right now, so I couldn't draw on the screen because I lent it to somebody who's doing an animation project. But yeah, just if anybody wanted to do that, I'm open to it. And I was also thinking if you guys wanted to send us pictures of your anime collections or your most prized possessions, that'd be fun for us to look at, and it might be nice to show them off on stream. So that's
similar to like Captain Kangaroo or MST3K.
Something we could do.
Send it to Zoom.
Just something we could do. It's just an idea. So if you guys want to send something to anime DVD collector at Gmail, pull my headphone out. That's how you could. Some open chest and JRPG. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. You could almost make the chest the mascot. You know, because in like old Dragon Quest games, they had the mimic chests where they had teeth. So anyway, yeah. Say what?
Oh wait, I'm talking to the screen. Okay.
Oh, I have the. Sorry, I have it. I had the. For those of you guys watching, I have the option as the person hosting the stream. I can click.
You mean that they've been looking at me this whole time?
Yeah, they've been looking at you the whole time. Sorry, I've been thinking and looking over at chat.
Wow,
ever since you started putting on the coat, basically. Well, this is why I record the other thing for the non-raw version where I can replace that with footage of me. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't know, unless you've got something else, I think we should probably wrap up because I've got time now where I could actually work on the bootleg series.
Once again, for people who just don't know who I am, I'm just some random collector. I'm Augie. I write under the pen name as John Jojo, and I'm part of the Overencumbrance blog.
In the description of this video, there's a link to his articles if you want to check them out.
I've written a few articles. I'm getting back into it. I'm almost done with another one. So I have like a top 10 list of one horrible anime and different reviews out there at the moment. On Twitter, just like how he has a room tour, I'm slowly putting up pictures of all my collection on Twitter on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Just to keep that going.
If you want to follow him on Twitter, that's also in the description. Just go ahead and check there. And then right now, just to give you an idea of what I was thinking about doing for this, in the description, there's like a little bracket bar between, his links and all that. I'm going to be putting in a little description of what we talked about during the podcast for the raw version. So if you ever miss one of these and you want to watch the archived version and you want to know sort of what we talked about, I'll put in the description. I'll give like a little bit of a list of the sort of stuff we discussed in the video. And if there's anything like particularly relevant, I might put a timestamp in there too, so that you guys can just jump straight to that point. All right.
If there's any future topics you'd like for us to go over, we've seen some already. Let us know. Any improvements,
that's a good point.
Let us know as well. So
FDDNM says, have characterizations of both popping of us popping out of a chest holding all the DVDs. That's actually not a bad idea. I kind of like that. If you did it like from a perspective view, kind of like a top down, you could totally do that. Put timestamps on the description of the raw. Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's what we'll do. I'm gonna try to save this chat, which is not as easy. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but I wonder if I can, because it. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna make before I forget. Hold on. FDDNM, I'm going to make you a mod for future reference. And then if you guys have any recommendations on guests we should have on this stream, definitely, let us know. If any of you guys want to join at some time, that's something we can easily do, so long as you have a webcam and some way to talk with us. Most laptops have a webcam and an internal microphone, so that's really all you need is just a laptop. So anyway, other than that, I think that we're pretty good now, and we should go ahead and wrap this up. What do you think, Augie?
Yeah, I think so too. So sayonara.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. I think that if things go according to plan, not next week, but the week after on Thursday is when we'll have the next stream. All right. Talk to you guys later.